Well, welcome to StoneX Stadium for this Premiership Women's Rugby Round 8 clash. Lucy, there's so many great matchups today, aren't there? Alev Kelter returning, Emily Scarrett, Marley Packer, so many incredible names.
I could not agree with you more. The one that I've got my eye on, though, is May Campbell. Starting on the bench last week, she's in the starting lineup today. Really excited to see her.
Really exciting to see her. Well, Saracens, they lost, didn't they, last week against Harlequins, that London derby. Loughborough Midlands derby victory over Leicester, 5th versus 6th in the table. It's got all the hallmarks of a classic.
Yeah, it really does. It's such an exciting storyline. I think if ever there was a time for Loughborough to take a scalp, it's probably today. But Saracens obviously going to come back and respond strong after a devastating at 1 point defeat last week.
Well, let's see what happens then. Kick-off coming your way in just over half an hour. Trust us, you don't want to miss it. It's 5th versus 6th this afternoon at StoneX Stadium, but that only tells you half the story. A wounded Saracens come into this one still smarting from that defeat to Harlequins and determined to rediscover the winning feeling. For Loughborough, well, they're looking up the table after last weekend's Derby Day victory, and they've got a star-studded backline to boot as well. The Midlanders have never beaten Saracens before, but records are there to be broken. And if you sprinkle in the added intrigue around Alev Kelter returning to North London, then this one has all the ingredients to be suitably spectacular. Beware the wounded Wolfpack though. With the likes of Packer, Harrison, Campbell and Corrigan, Saracens have a cohort of world-class players who are determined to put their side back in the playoff picture. Will the North Londoners return to winning ways, or will lightning strike in NW4? I've made my way up into our presentation area, and before we introduce our co-commentator today, well, we wanted to give her the big grand entrance. A plethora of England caps, tries for days. Jess Breach is our co-commentator this afternoon. Well, Jess, it's great to have you with us. We talked a little bit at the top of the show about Saracens coming off a defeat, Loughborough off of a win. What do you think the mindset's going to be like in both teams today?
It's definitely a must-win game for us. I think we need to get a win under our belt. Obviously going 2 losses back-to-back I think is challenging, but I think the girls will definitely be up for it today. But I think Loughborough will also be up for it, so I think it's definitely a challenging game, and hopefully we can get on the winning side. But Loughborough have got some good players, so I think it'll definitely be a fight.
You say some good players, they've got some world-class players. That back line looks devastating. Alev Kelter coming back to her old club today as well, a real threat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure there'll be some venom in her, and as well as with the Sarries girls not coming back. So I think, yeah, she's an exciting one to see. I think she made her debut for them last weekend and scored a really good try for them. So, yeah, hopefully, I mean, she has a good game, but we can negate that with Emma Hardy coming in at 12, which I think will be the first that you see her play in that position for us. So hopefully she can do a really good job of negating Alev Kelter's devastating runs and obviously show the attacking game that she has.
Emma up against her former side as well. Like you said, played 13 a lot this season for Sarries. What does she bring to this squad? Because she's made a real impact so far. Yeah,
definitely. I think she brings like a level head, and I think just some fresh set of eyes, which I think we really needed after obviously losing another semi-final last year. And I think she's really moulded into the squad really well, knows a couple of the players anyway, and she's just a really sweet and kind person. I think that just adds to our culture, adds to that environment, which I think you can see with her playing how well she's been playing, and hopefully she does it again today.
Just a final one, you touched on it at the start there in terms of 2 defeats in a row, but it shows the strength in depth we've got in the league now. Everyone can beat everyone on their day. matches are much closer, the table's much tighter, and that's what you want as a fan, although maybe not as a player.
Yeah, definitely. I think like last week we were speaking about how Quinn Sarries used to be a final, and now it's like a competitive game and people don't know what the top four is going to bring, and I think that just shows credit to the PWR growing the game, putting more funding in, bringing players in, and having that ability to play world-class players and world-class teams week in, week out in the Prem. I just think is phenomenal.
Like you said, it is going to be phenomenal. The league so far this season has been so unpredictable, and so have these two sides in terms of the way they attack, what they bring to the party. And trust us, lightning is going to strike this afternoon.
Might be opening up for Adam County here to go under the posts.
Mile beats two, runs it in.
What a score from Chrissy Scarfield.
Matches the chances from here.
And it is a try-on debut for Canada's Gabby Sessions.
It's a beautiful try from Saracens. It's exquisite.
From the Dark Ages to the Digital Ages, as one of the world's largest London metal exchange traders, StoneX is leading the revolution of the base metal market. BM Execute is an online, real-time risk management system for the base metals industry. Easy to use and rich in functionality, BM Execute will allow for easier risk management, real-time views, and reduced operational risk. BM Execute takes base metal trading to the next level.
Here we go, Women's Rugby World Cup, England 2025.
Le moment tant attendu approche. Le public est prêt.
I was born for this.
Would you write off the reigning champions?
A generation of players ready to set the tournament alight.
Mais t'as vu le dernier match de Mana FE? Elle a dominé.
La plus jeune capitaine française de l'histoire est gonflée à bloc.
Ellie Hildan scores all tries.
England are surely still hurting, but that was then. This is now. Everything's at stake here. Other teams are hunting Renee Holmes in the Black Ferns. Van Ledger's so tough, can she carry the nation to glory?
These players keep raising the bar higher and higher in search of rugby immortality. When this tournament's over, who will history remember?
Welcome back to StoneX Stadium, where kickoff is fast approaching. But before then, I'm delighted to be joined by two Canadian superstars and Olympic silver medalists to boot. It's Alicia Corrigan and Chrissy Scarfield. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. You're obviously going from teammates for Canada to rivals today for your domestic clubs. How much are you looking forward to this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. Alicia and I are actually lined up against each other today, so I mean, it's just kind of going back from our old training days, beating each other up, and now we just get to do it again on this pitch. So yeah, really excited.
Yeah, it's always something to look forward to whenever you get to go against a teammate, because usually, like, I'd much rather Chrissy on my team, but no, today it will be fun to challenge each other and just get to beat each other up a little bit.
Beat each other up a little bit, I love it. And Alicia, obviously a tough defeat to Quins in the duel last week, just by 1 point. How's the mood been in the Sarries camp this week?
Yeah, I think like coming off a loss like that, we had a short turnaround. We had 6 days, so you have to kind of like lick your wounds pretty fast and just carry on to whatever's the next job. And you know, we put a lot of work in this week, focus on the little things that we needed to fix up. But we're all excited and ready to go.
Well, we are also very excited, and Chrissy's kind of the opposite for you guys, obviously coming off with the win against your local Midlands Derby rivals. How's training been for you guys this week?
Yeah, I mean, we've really been pushing this week after coming off that win. We just want to kind of keep building off that performance, and we still have a lot of work to do, so hopefully get the win today and then just keep building from there. Yeah.
And finally, from teammates to rivals, friends to foes, do you have any last fighting words for one another?
It's on, baby. Can't wait. Get on the pitch.
Well, best of luck to both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, Lucy. Fantastic to hear there from Alicia and Chrissy. Jess, 2 Canadian imports that have been making a splash this season, and a bit of fighting talk from the pair of them at the end there, going head to head today.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really nice to see Alicia back here at Saracens. We definitely missed her for the last probably 18 months that she hasn't been here. And then Chrissy's been amazing for Loughborough. I think she scores really good tries for them, outstanding pace, and I think it's really exciting to see them go head to head against each other today. And both teams, like they said, want to play attacking rugby, which hopefully we'll see some of today.
And 2 Olympic silver medalists as well, so both of them are used to flying down the wing and scoring in the corner as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm sure they'll enjoy that today, hopefully.
Hopefully Alicia gets a little bit more of an upper hand than Chrissy though on your side. Let's have a look then, because you're going to take us through a little bit of the way that both of these sides like to attack. Chrissy Scurfield scored that wonder try against Exeter that we're going to look at, and then the Gemma Jo Lincoln's try as well. This is Chrissy's try. Talk to us here about how Loughborough look to attack out wide.
Yeah, so you see here they shift the ball to the second receiver, the 12, and then just giving that space, that opportunity for Chrissy to just have a go, and one-on-one beats the fullback on an inside step, and then just out and out gas here at the end to score it in the corner. And I think that just shows the confidence that Loughborough have to give her that ball, to give her that ability to just go and have a run and showcase what she's about. And I think, yeah, you can see there their fans applauding the try and everyone going in to hug her, because I think, yeah, that's definitely a one for the highlights reel for sure. Just showcases everything what a winger wants to do: ball in space, time, opportunity, and just back in your edge. So I think you see here gasses the outside and then has that one-on-one and decides to take it on the inside, and then just puts the absolute afterburners on.
Up against another Canadian there as well, Sabrina Poulan, no slouch at all, shows the speed of Chrissy Scurfield, and I think we've got one more end on angle here. Just talk to us about that.
She catches it from her toes.
Yeah, she does. It's a great catch.
Yeah, unbelievable catch. And I think, just you can tell she's probably struggling here. The lactic is probably definitely kicking in, but I think she sees the try line and a fantastic dive as well.
Talk to us then about this Saracens try. This was against Gloucester Hartpury, and Saracens looking to attack the inside a little bit more with that inside pass.
Yeah, definitely. I think we like to get our forwards involved a bit and give them that ability to showcase their skills. And I think you can see that by Kelsey. Zoe does a really good movement in the middle, shifts it to Kelsey, and then she feeds Beth Blacklock back inside, and then obviously she gets taken out in the middle, but I think we recycle really quickly, and then another missed pass I think to the edge. We just give that space to the wing. There you go, Kelsey, brilliant inside ball. I think Beth really takes it on here, and then great offload. Classic May obviously there supporting, and then quick breakdown. Sydney again, an absolute menace when it comes to breakdowns and having the ball in her hands, and then early ball from Marley, great ball across from Zoe for Gemma to score in the corner. Really
was a great try. Well, some fancy footwork there, some fancy footwork off the field as well. Saracens Foundation have been doing some incredible work in the community, and this VT we're about to show you tells you all about their Love to Dance project.
I've been coming to Love to Dance for about over 7 years, I think. Initially, I heard about it from a friend of mine, so I came, and instantly it was not only the welcome, it was the people, the camaraderie and fun.
I started Love to Dance approximately 5 years ago. I lost my husband 7 years ago, and my family thought that I needed to do something, but I kept shying away from it. And since then, I've been coming every week for the last 5 years.
I've been diagnosed with osteoarthritis quite badly, and I remember when I first joined, I had the big black gloves on and things on my feet and on my knees. And as you can see now, free, because it's helped my movement tremendously.
The teachers, they're all lovely, and they don't take you serious. If you make mistakes, that's fine. We just laugh it off.
They have a flexibility and an adaptability to be able to teach the group as a whole, but individually. and they make allowances and they know how far to push you and how far not.
But it's not serious. We don't take ourselves serious because we're all a bit mad. We have a coffee break halfway through, which should be a 10-minute coffee break, but I think it's more coffee break than perhaps dancing.
And if somebody's not well, your phone goes ping, 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 because everyone is wishing you well, sending you support. I lost my husband earlier in the year, and the support that I got from these ladies was second to none. They would come round and visit me. They would support me. They even sent me a rose to plant for my husband, which was named Al Bryan, which was my husband's name. But very quickly, they encouraged me to get back, back in the saddle, so to speak, which I did. And that was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And where else could I find that? Where else can I find that? Absolutely fantastic.
That's amazing. When you first lose your husband, your partner for I've been married for 60 odd years, you feel lost. That's more than anything. It's hard to push yourself out there, but I think you need to do it for your own benefit. You just need to take that first step, which is hard, very hard. But when you've done it and you gradually, your confidence builds up a little bit more, and you benefit from it. You really would. It's just definitely changed my life, which is lovely. And if anyone's not well, they always have a little collection and send some flowers, or even if they've lost a partner, you've got someone to talk to about. So it's, really enjoying it.
I'm Amber Shonnet.
Simi Pam.
Roisin McBrien.
I'm a tattoo artist.
I'm a locum doctor.
I help people achieve their financial goals.
I'm powered differently.
Differently.
Lizzie Golden.
Sydney Gregson.
Freya Orkin.
I'm a solicitor. I'm a teacher.
I'm a marine biologist. I'm powered differently.
Differently.
Karis Cox. Lucy Knight.
Isla Curfew.
I'm a registered nurse. I'm a flight lieutenant in the Royal Air Force.
I work in construction.
I'm powered differently.
Welcome back. We heard from the players before the match. Now it's time to hear from the coaches. Lucy spoke to Loughborough Lightning head coach Nathan Smith and Saracens women's director of rugby Alex Austerbury a little earlier in the day. Here's what they both had to say ahead of this afternoon's match.
Alex, thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, last week was no doubt a bitter pill to swallow, and it felt like if there was an additional 5 minutes in that game, you guys probably would have come out and taken the win. How have you and the team put last week's loss behind you to focus on the task in hand today?
Yeah, look, I mean, every team will say, you don't lose, you just run out of time. But we've got to take the learnings from last week, and that's what we've hopefully done this week. Understanding how we can control momentum better, what we can do to be more effective around collisions, and ultimately get end products from some of the good rugby we've played. So hopefully we've revisited that. We've corrected a couple of little things, and just keeping a mindset around being positive, around trying to shape moments rather than let moments shape us, and that will be our focus going into a tough challenge day against Loughborough.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen May Campbell's come back into the starting lineup this week after being injected into the game, had an amazing impact. Talk us through the decisions behind the lineup today.
Oh, look, we've got a very strong squad. Obviously, we've got quite a few players out at the moment, but we always knew it was going to be a challenging season. So the depth of the squad and the competition for places is high. But we got to get a balance across things, and it's making sure that, as well as starting 15 that hits the ground running, we've got to have the ability to shape and change the game as it goes on. Obviously, the bench last week had some positive impacts. We saw against Bristol away the impact that the bench had. So it's a case of we want to make sure that we start on the front foot, establish ourselves, and we're picking the right horse for the course essentially there, and then having the ability to be flexible and adapt depending on what scenarios we face in the second half. So yeah, look, there's not going to be this year. It's not going to be a season where someone plays all the games and plays 80 minutes all of them. It's too bang 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 for that. There's too much quality in the squad for that to be a necessity as well. So it's making sure that we expose all of our players, give them opportunities when they're in form, and make sure we start to bring ourselves to the boil for key encounters like today.
Nathan, thanks for joining me. Obviously a great win against Tigers last week to no doubt fill you with confidence coming into today's fixture. What's been the focus for training this week?
It's just carrying on what we've been doing. I feel like we've had some positive performance this year. Maybe the results haven't quite gone our way, but it's just building on what we've been doing for the last few weeks since we've all been back together.
And Meg Davey wins her 100th cap in today's game, becoming Loughborough Lightning's second ever Centurion. A word on Meg and what we can expect from her in this milestone game.
No, we're all really proud of Meg. Like she came through the university pathway. She's played 100 times for Lightning. Means an awful lot to her. They achieved it. It means an awful lot to the group. So we're really excited to see her play, and I'm looking forward to see her run out today.
And finally, North London's not an easy place for any visiting side to come, but obviously Saracens back-to-back losses. How important is it for you guys today to really start with intensity and attack the game head-on?
Yeah, we know they're going to start like a house on fire, but they would have done in the two games that it didn't quite go their way. Still a very strong team, tough place to come. Nothing really changes from last year, if I'm being brutally honest.
Lovely. Well, best of luck. Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks very much.
Well, we've made our way up to the commentary position. Jess is just making her way up as well, and we're about 5-6 minutes away from kickoff here at Stonex Stadium. Just let Jess squeeze past me and get into position, and let's have a look at the league table, the state of play before today's matches. Well, you can see there it's pretty close, isn't it? Exeter 7 from 7, unbeaten, and then just 4 points between second and fifth. Saracens in fifth, Loughborough in sixth, and an opportunity for Alex Austerbury's side to move at least second. And here's how the fixtures look for this weekend. You can see there Saracens women against Loughborough Lightning, the 2 p.m. kickoff. And then this weekend some other huge matches. Gloucester Hartpury versus Bristol Bears, a repeat of last year's final. Then Harlequins taking on Trailfinders in the London Derby, and the TNT match tomorrow. Sale Sharks women against Leicester Tigers women. That's going to be a proper feisty battle. Both of those two teams looking for their first wins of the season. Let's have a look at the teams for you then. Well, Alex Austerbury was saying to Lucy there that some injury and force changes, some rotation as well. May Campbell returning to the starting lineup. Bryony Cleal coming in for her first start of the season. Marley Packer shifting to number 8 and Gabrielle Senft coming in at 6. In the back line, Emma Hardy, her first start at 12 in a Saracens shirt against her former side, and Sarah McKenna moving to fullback for the first time this season, having been filling that inside centre role for the majority of the last 18 months or so. This Lightning team then, well, Nathan Smith said in the week that he was thrilled with how they performed against their Midlands rivals, and he's rewarded that team with an unchanged starting 15. Daisy Hibbert-Jones and Helen Nelson-Keogh captaining the sides, and that centre pairing of Alev Kelter, Emily Scarrett, well, that is enough to strike fear into any opposition side. Chrissy Skerfield we spoke to pre-match, Fran Goldthorpe, another live wire, and Meg Davey set to make her 100th appearance. Let's have a look at the subs then for both teams. Saracens reverting back to that 5-3 split, after last week's 6-2 split. So Corinne Grant comes in for a potential first appearance of the season, and Joya Bennett returns to the side for the first time since Bristol away. Replacements for Loughborough Lightning. Well, Laura Keats has managed to shake off the illness that ruled her out last weekend to take her place at number 18. And watch out for Sadia Kabea, her first appearance of the season, having recovered from injury. Jess, Sadia Kabea, she's going to be itching to get back out on that field and show what she can do.
Yeah, definitely. Hi everyone, I'm super excited for today, and especially obviously to see Sadia get out there. It's been a long stint for her with her injuries, so hopefully she'll be able to get off the bench and have some rugby minutes under her. But obviously the game's about to get underway, and hopefully we're so excited to see the Sarries girls come out.
Talk to us a little bit. You can see there the flags and everything ready, the big shirt ready as well on the pitch in the middle, the mascots, the Guard of Honour all ready. The duel last weekend, it didn't go the way that Saracens would have wanted. Harlequins it certainly did, but despite the wind and the rain, it was some occasion, a really good landmark day for women's rugby.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a super good day, even though the wind and the rain did appear. We had a fantastic crowd, and I think that's what shows here at StoneX. Like, the wind and the rain doesn't stop many people from coming to watch Saracens play, and we played some really good rugby, and hopefully everyone will be able to see that today against another super tough side, Loughborough. And yeah, they're taking their time to get out, aren't they?
Yes, you will. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, like you said. Loads of entertainment, loads of drama sure to come in the next 90 minutes or so. And whilst we wait for the teams to come out, Meg Davey will be coming out first for Lightning, her 100th appearance, just the second Loughborough player to reach that milestone, just 24 years old as well. That's a huge effort from her, and a fantastic loyal servant for this Loughborough side. Here she comes then, Meg Davey out onto the pitch, sprinting out, keen to get underway. And here comes the rest of this Lightning side then, led by Daisy Hibbert-Jones, formerly of Sale Sharks, but she is now fully set up within this Lightning side. I'll tell you what, Jess, Meg was sprinting so quickly there that I think pretty much everybody missed her.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think some people like the limelight, and maybe she's one of them, so maybe she just wanted to get out there and get onto the pitch and just play some rugby, and it's a special moment for her. But I think obviously after the game, I'm sure she'll recognise that and take it in, and probably go for some food with her friends and have a moment just to breathe and be like, wow, that's such a good occasion and moment that I had.
It really is, and fully deserved for Meg Davey as she then takes her place in that huddle as well. Marley Packer leading her side out. Wearing number 8 today, Poppy Cleal unavailable for selection. And here is our referee, our woman in the middle today. It's Holly Wood, and she is going to be ably assisted by John Meredith and Simon Park on the touchlines. Jess, there's plenty of players missing for both sides, I think it's fair to say. You look at that Loughborough Lightning list, the likes of Emma Wassell, Bo Westcombe Evans, Rachel Malcolm, Kath O'Donnell, and Saracens, well, no Poppy Cleal, no Sophie de Goody, yourself obviously, but so much talent in the middle of the field as Zoe Harrison gets ready to get us underway.
Yeah, I'm sure both teams will have good benches and good teams to showcase the rugby that they want to play, even though they are missing some players.
Well, here we are then underway, and Kelter with an early touch for her side, and a half break coming in there from Kendall Wadby. Rowland linking up nicely, and Lightning looking to go through the phases early doors here.
Okay, hold 9.
And boot to ball coming in from Rowland. I think Helena Rowland has pretty much played every single position in her career so far. That talented, comfortable at 10 in the centres, 15 as well, and a genuine world-class operator.
Yeah, definitely. I think she likes playing multiple positions, but I think once she gets back into the club rugby, she definitely likes to solidate that 10 shirt for sure.
You've played with Helena, you've played with plenty of players on that Lightning side as well. They've had a bit of a slow start to the season as Zoe Harrison looks to carry into contact, but they really seem to be finding their groove now. Yeah, definitely. I think both teams, it's hard when you come back in with internationals to get that groove again, and I think both teams can probably stamp their ground today and hopefully get some good tries and good rugby under them. Let's see how it goes then. Well, Casolo with a carry slips that first tackle, and Vivas is in position. There's Harrison, miss ball out to May Campbell. Loughborough fighting for possession, but not quite able to get there, and now Clifford, the next to have a go. And that ball was open. It's a fight on the ball for both teams.
It's become a tackle.
And you can hear Hollywood saying hands away, hands away. Yeah. And it'll be a Lightning scrum in the end there. Ella Vivas got caught a little bit. Lightning came through with Abby Dugard, and a scrum and an attacking opportunity here for Lightning. Yeah, I think so. I think maybe we've played too many phases in the middle there. I think maybe Zoe could have, or Ella could have got the ball away, maybe into the backfield, put some pressure on the Loughborough backfield, and hopefully that would relieve some pressure, so we don't just play loads of minutes, loads of phases in the middle. So contact lens replacement then there for Gabby Sent from the first opportunity then for both sides at the scrum. Jess, I know it's not exactly your forte, but it's something that Saracens have been working hard on, and that's a pretty formidable front row. Oh, for sure. I think Kelsey's worked really hard on her scrummaging, and so has McKinley, and it's nice to see May back in there as the starting hooker, and she's played really well and had a really good impact off the game last week, and I think hopefully we can see what they do in the first scrum.
Set!
Here we go then, let's see what happens at this scrum. It's pretty stable from both sides. And now here we go then, Loughborough linking together, and an opportunity here for Skirfield. Breaks the tackle, gets the offload away. Goldthorpe carries into contact, and there's Rowland to Curfy. And Kelter, a first chance for her to free the ball, and Scarrett is in space, hauled down by Harrison. And Loughborough, this is good.
Okay.
And a penalty advantage.
Offside. We've got a number.
Offside, you can hear our referee saying there.
Yeah.
And there is Davey. So a bit of a free hit, a little bit of a loopy pass, but Goldthorpe tidies it up.
Still under penalty advantage.
No advantage coming then. Hollywood.
Here.
Clear, shrill blast of the whistle.
7 black offside.
And you can hear that call there then. Sharifa Casolo called offside, and Lightning, Jess, well, they've looked threatening in those early moments. Kelter and Scarrett starting to combine as they look to go for touch. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a formidable centre pairing, having Kelter and Skaz, two amazing players, and combining, I think they can be pretty good for Loughborough. I think they definitely had some good phases there, and I think penalties are going to be the one that's going to kill us, I think, today and in games prior. So hopefully we can keep that penalty count down and negate this line out for Loughborough. Lightning then looking to set the maul, and they break off the back. Quick ball into Skirfield in midfield. They're really trying to get Skirfield on the ball, I think, a lot, Loughborough, like coming off that line out, as well as
other phases in the game. They're really trying to get that speedster on the ball as Lily Sivis champion just carries in the middle there.
She really is. Well, I say she is the danger woman. She's one of many danger women for both of these sides. But it's Lightning at the moment that are looking to make the quick start. A big shot coming in from Senft in the middle, and she's done well there, forced the knock on, and that is exactly what Saracens needed. Their Canadian back row coming to their rescue there.
Yeah, great pressure I think from Gabby and Alicia on Aliv Kelter. I think you've got to pressurise those big ball carriers that Loughborough have, and I think Alicia and actually Ella did really well there to put the pressure on her to knock that ball on. So second scrum here for both of the teams. First feed for Saracens, so hopefully we can get that ball away and showcase some running rugby that I think everyone wants to see and is excited about.
Let's see what happens then for this scrum. The first one was pretty stable. We've seen a little bit from both of these sides, like you said, Jess, just a, well, as we were about to talk out the presence at the scrum, it's a free kick for an early engagement, and Corrigan sets off. Harrison, boot to ball, looking cross field, and that's going to bounce into the hands of her co-captain Lossie Sharp. McKenna then tidies up. Virvas is half charged down, and it's tidied up by Wadby there, and Lightning straight back with ball in hand, and a penalty coming their way as well.
That was a great spot and unlucky execution there by Ella. I think she could see there was no one in the backfield to get the ball into that space. Just a shame that it got charged down. But again, another penalty against Saracens gives Loughborough an opportunity to get down into the corner and have another go in the 22.
Roland then, decent distance on that one from the fly half.
On the edge, yeah, thank you. It's on the edge, guys.
Yeah, the last line-up they had in the 22, you could see that they got the ball out to Christy Skirford, so I wonder if they do the same again, which they do. Hooker gets caught at the back. I think the option was maybe to hit Alev, and the forwards are now coming round.
Hibbert Jones there, the co-captain for her side, carrying into contact, and there's Wadby again.
Hey, no hands, your tackle is still there, thank you.
Saying the names of the Lightning back row players pretty frequently in these opening few minutes. Bryony Cleo there was looking to see if she could get her hands on it, but no was the call from the referee. Davey goes hunting to Curfy.
Oops, sorry.
And the referee then getting in the way slightly there. There was a knock on, but good decision, fair play there from Hollywood. Just accidentally blocking the pass as Loughborough looked to switch the attacking lines, and we'll have the scrum.
Yeah, definitely. I think Holly maybe wants to get her old rugby boots on instead of reffing boots on there to have an opportunity to play with the ball.
Space, I don't tell you how far to go, yeah? Okay, set left and find the gap. That's all right. You okay?
A bit of time off here, then water off,
okay, let's go,
and we'll get back underway.
I think this scrum will be really interesting. This will be the third one. The first two we've had warnings on head-on-head. Not sure actually what that really means, obviously being a back. But it'll be interesting to see what comes here. If the little scrum games are actually now settled and we're actually going to get a good, decent scrum in our hands.
Well, that was the thing for Loughborough last week, was their backs did the damage. They were incredibly good against Leicester. But up front, they were under a little bit of pressure. They've got an opportunity here, though, with the free kick. And Kelter carries up towards that 22-metre line, and they're just happy to shift the ball on at the moment. Roland on, and then there's a dropped ball in midfield from Duguid, and an opportunity then for Saracens to get out of their own half. It's pretty much been all Loughborough so far, Jess, in terms of that territory.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a shame that drop ball there. I think they had space on the edge to maybe get the ball wide, but I do think that Saracens' defence at the moment is being really strong. I think we're rushing up, pressuring those attacking ball carriers to either make mistakes or carry, and to not have that ability to get it to their danger players on the wing.
opportunity here for Sarries then. As Jess said, speedsters on the wing are going to be the threat today. And in Scurfield, you've got an elusive, speedy, physical runner in Corrigan. Well, still pretty speedy, but loves a bit of contact as well at times. Played in the centres.
Okay, use it, 9.
And Virvas gets the ball away, goes hunting and gets the kick in. That's a handy little nudge into the backfield from the scrum half.
Keep
and
retreating,
she forces Nelson to clear.
Keep retreating, Casey.
So he gets a head up. You can see this back corner's open. Hits May, who carries in the middle. Great carry by May.
May Campbell then only knows one way. That is forward. McKenna then tidies up. That one wasn't quite working, but then Goldthorpe is there for Lightning. Jess, it's interesting up here, isn't it? The Saracens win the penalty. You get a slightly different angle to what you see pitch side, or if you're sitting in the stands, or if you're on the pitch as well. I can see you pointing, gesturing where you want the play to go.
Yeah, definitely. I wish maybe I shouted that so Zoe could have heard me to put it in the right hand corner. But I think, yeah, it's definitely a different angle from up here. You get to see more where the space is. Just as Zoe kicked it into the corner into our 22, so hopefully this is our first attacking opportunity in the opposition's 22. So hopefully we can get a good line out and have that ability to maybe get over the try line.
As you said, an opportunity for Saracens, and there's Nathan Smith. Well, he looked like he was writing some notes. He now looks like he's just tapping his pen on his page. I wonder what he will make of these opening 10 minutes or so. For the moment, though, his side need to defend for the first time this afternoon, and they've done well there, stripping Clifford and a knock on. Scarrett, well, she's cannoned that one down the field, Emily Scarrett, and it's bouncing. Corrigan has to tidy up.
Oh, Canadian versus Canadian. Great fend by Alicia there on Christy Scurford. I'm sure that's probably a 1-0.
There's 1-0, and now an opportunity. Evans feeds it out. Oh, unlucky there. Sent looking for the connection, and it's knocked on and gone into touch. There's an option there, but you can just see the opportunity for Saracens in transition. Lottie Sharp right in the middle of the field there, and then the forwards starting to try and connect. Evans and Senft, both pretty powerful runners in their own right.
Hold. All over. Down by purple.
And here a clear call there from Holly Wood. It was Lightning that went down. And Kelter goes, well, that's fine, I'll burst forwards. Slips through the first tackle. And it's flung wide to Goldthorpe. Jinking, darting, weaving away from the tacklers, and eventually Gregson gets herself there. Saracens looking for the turnover, winning the turnover. Marley Packer in there. Well, Eddie Kildun may be World Player of the Year now, but Marley Packer was not the 2023 World Player of the Year for no reason, and that is all of those experienced moments coming to the fore for her side.
Yeah, definitely. I think it starts from a great chop tackle from Sydney Gregson. You don't give that opportunity to excellent people like Marley, who can turn over the ball quite quickly if the tackle isn't quite right. So I think Sydney does a great job there to give Marley the ability to get the ball.
Line out then goes well for Saracens, and they go quickly out the back. Virvas, Hardy to Harrison. And McKenna has seen the space, has seen the opportunity. Who's going to win the foot race? Well, it's bounced off the post. Oh,
sorry.
Unlucky, it's in touch first.
Sorry, that was just Corrigan, like a replay from last week.
It's what I was exactly thinking. Corrigan looks aghast. Jess, you can see the replay here. It's a lovely nudge from McKenna. Now, last week, if it didn't bounce on the touchline, last week it can bounce off the post.
I think you just see Alicia's foot there in touch.
It is.
It's a fantastic kick by Sarah McKenna there to get Alicia on the ball, but I think, yeah, just to shame her awareness to where her foot is. She didn't quite know.
Very unlucky there for Alicia Corrigan. If you didn't see that match, the duel last week, that's how Harlequins scored their first try. A little bit of an opportunity to kick in behind, and then a bounce off the post, and Beth Wilcock was in. You can see here it's still in play, and then Corrigan's foot just on the blue as she picks the ball up. So unfortunate, but Jess, as she said, nearly so opportunistic, and the kick from Sarah McKenna was exquisite. Player down then in the backfield for Lightning. And well, this could be a concern, Jess, not just for Lightning, but internationally as well.
Yeah, I think that's Helena Rowland down, maybe with her foot or ankle. I hope she's okay. She's had a tough time with injuries and always a fighter, so always can get back stronger, but hopefully we can see her get up and shake it off, which I know people hate commentators saying, but that's what I just pray for her, and hopefully that she can have that ability to play on, really.
She's been so good, Helena Rowland, whenever she's played for her club, for her country, and hopefully she is okay. A little bit of if she does have to go off, potentially a little bit of a reshuffle for Lightning. You would expect that Nelson would move into 10 and that Baloo Matatoga would come on in that fullback jersey. Or Fran Goldthorpe can obviously play there as well. They've got strength in depth that they haven't had in recent seasons.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what I think is their strong part at the moment, Loughborough, that they can move people around and put people into different positions and have a strong bench, which I think is really important. And I think you can see that within the PWR, that it's getting really competitive within the top 4, and I think that's because all the teams have really good squads, and it doesn't necessarily matter who is in the number on the shirt. It's actually the ability that all of the players have, and I think you can see the case that today on the benches as well as the starting teams.
Whilst we're waiting, and it's good to see that the medical treatment is there with Rowland, hopefully she's okay. It looks like her ankle. I mentioned Fran Goldthorpe there, Jess. I want to touch on her quickly. She has made 436 metres this season. She's beaten 19 defenders. She's still in her early 20s, but she's come back from Rugby League, where she won the Super League with Leeds Rhinos. She played in the NRL with North Queensland Cowboys. She said openly that she wants to have a crack at playing international 15s as well. Such a talent at such a young age, and one of many young, exciting back 3 players that are coming through at the moment, as Rowland looks to be back on her feet and okay to continue.
Yeah, definitely. She's someone that we spoke about actually on Rugby Rodeo with Ellie Kildun. I think she sees her as not maybe a threat, but someone that can play in that 15 shirt, and I think it's really good for the Red Roses that we have that ability, that girls are coming through and people want to have the opportunity to play for the Red Roses, especially in a home World Cup in 2025.
Like you said, a home World Cup on the horizon. A nice little plug there for Rugby Rodeo as well. Let's see what happens then. There was a knock on from Lightning at the back of the line out, and Saracens, Lightning, 13 minutes in, the best opportunity either side has had.
If I was Saris right now, not going at Helena, but I think I'd probably try and run down her channel. Obviously being down for a little while with a bit of an injury, I think you would hopefully get into that channel and see where Ella just getting a bit stuck at the back, maybe a bit of miscommunication. But we have a penalty advantage, so see where that takes us.
Penalty advantage coming then. Packer has tidied it up for her side. There is Cleo. Only one Cleo to contend with on the pitch this week for the teams and us in the commentary box. Saracens hunting for the try. Nothing coming though, and we'll come back for the penalty.
That was a great carry by Georgia Evans. Oh,
Zoe Harrison has gone quickly. Harrison has another penalty advantage, but she doesn't need it. Zoe Harrison alive to the danger. A try last week against Harlequins, a try here against Loughborough, and well, doing Ella Virbass's job for her there. Harrison is in, and Saracens one sniff of the try line, and they're 5 points to the good.
Yeah, definitely. I spoke to Zoe after last week, and she said this try she scored wasn't obviously her usual type of try, bubbling over, which I'm sure she did today. Absolutely terrorising the defence and just thinking, okay, I'm going to do this myself and I'll carry the ball, which isn't her, but it's nice to see that she's having that attacking ability and not afraid to take it on herself, which I think is really good that we can see our 10 doing. She wants to obviously get the ball into space as well as have a go herself, and she converts her own kick, which is lovely.
Perfect from Zoe Housen, the sharpest shooter in the PWR this season, 91% off the tee, and she continues her fine start. Saracens 7, Loughborough Lightning 0, and Zoe Harrison, well, that's a poacher's try. She came back from that ACL injury last year and scored her first try of the season by pretty much just running route 1, if I can get my words out, through the Tigers' defence, and she's done exactly the same there.
Yeah, I don't really know what she's having for breakfast at the moment, but she seems to be love carrying the ball, which I think is really good for us to have that ability on her, that she's not afraid to get into that contact.
Campbell then carried hard off the restart, and Lightning have been arguably the better side so far in these opening 15 minutes, but that is the predatory, opportunistic ability of this Saracen side to sniff out danger.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what we didn't do as well last weekend, is we had a lot of opportunities in the 22 and we didn't capitalise on them. That's a great carry by Kelsey Clifford, just to get to our 10-metre line, and Zoe sees the space again. And Gabby there tried to kick it on, but Loughborough have now got the ball.
Okay, it's
Well,
just
an accidental offside. We'll have the scrum. Gabby sent there, as you said, trying to kick it on. Don't know what they feed these Canadians over in those parts. Doesn't matter whether it's a prop, a flanker, a back, all of them seem to be so physical in contact and have incredible footballing ability as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Zoe maybe was complaining a bit about maybe a tackle off the ball, but I think her dramatics maybe need to get a bit better if she wants to try and get a penalty off Hollywood for today.
If she listens to this back afterwards, I've got no doubt she'll be having some words with you about that one. But as you said, in all seriousness, it's not something that we want in the game. We want it to keep moving quickly, we want it to keep flowing, and that's what it's certainly done in these opening 16-17 minutes of the game. Saracen scrum then, Packer hunts and gets it away to Veervas, and Veervas, Harrison, Sharp, this is lovely from Lottie Sharp, and she bursts free, runs into Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe wrestles her to ground, but here comes Saracens again. Harrison spins it wide to Corrigan, searching for her first try since returning to the club. And there goes Casolo now into contact. That distinctive running style. Saracens, though, cough the ball up with the line in sight. Campbell, just a little bit too quick there for her own good, I think. Body moving slightly quicker than the mind, but Saracens, Jess, we said it earlier in the game, they're so quick in transition.
Yeah, definitely. I think you could see that was a great fend by Lottie on that scrum. And she had the ability to then just power through, and then we had a quick ruck by Ella and a nice ball over to Alicia. And yeah, just I think we sometimes try to overplay, I think, in our 22, when actually if we just settle and can carry the ball well, then I think we can maintain some phases.
Let's go, Sari.
As you said, it's all about maintaining the phases. Loughborough have made, well, it looks to be a blood sub for the moment. It's Bulu Matatoga coming on to the field, number 23. So there is going to be a little bit of a reshuffle then for Lightning. It's Helena Rowland coming off. She's limping a little bit. She was holding her nose as well.
Crouch! Bind!
We hope she's okay. She did look like she was holding her nose a little bit, but again, there's a serious limp there from the fly half, and I think everybody will be sending her best wishes, hoping she's okay. Jess, you said that looks permanent to me. She looks pretty upset as she makes her way straight down the tunnel there. That's heartbreaking for Helena Rowland, Loughborough Lightning, and to be fair, for the Red Roses as well. Hopefully that isn't as serious as it looks.
Yeah, definitely. I think the ice bag sometimes you don't want in that moment. I think, yeah, she's going off down the tunnel. I think maybe she just needs a couple of minutes to herself, because I think it's hard when you get an injury in a game. You don't know how bad or serious it is, and I think you have to just get your mind over that, and hopefully she'll come out and support her team.
Hopefully she will. So there is that reshuffle that we suggested could be happening then. Nelson moves into 10, Matatoga will move into the back three. Saracens putting pressure on, and Hibbert Jones has to carry in to Packer. Packer wrestles her to ground. Nearly got her hands on the ball there, but Meg Davey, it's a short in-goal area here. And Helen Nelson with not much time, not much angle. That's a really good nudge from the Scottish international.
Yeah, definitely a bit of pressure, I think, as well, that going straight into 10, having to do that clearing kick, I think is a big pressure on Helen Nelson. But we've got a line out here. Great ball by May, cut by Senth, and Sydney Gregson battering the Loughborough line, but creeps offside, which I think is frustrating for Saracens. I think we need to get some phases together and get some momentum behind us, and I think that's by keeping the ball is how we do that, and I think it's a shame. I don't think Sydney agrees with that decision, but I think Hollywood has a beady eye for the offside line with her ARs helping her, so I'm sure it was the right decision.
You can see there offside the call. Loughborough then with an opportunity to clear their lines, have a go again.
Just on the edge, guys. Move across.
And Lightning, well, they've had the lion's share of that possession and territory so far, but they've not been able to do much with it. So let's see what happens here then. That was good, but it looked good, but it wasn't straight. And, well, Catherine Treader looked really disappointed there as Saracens opt for the scrum, Jess.
Yeah, I think it's a shame. I think both teams, it's been about 20 minutes or so, and I think now maybe both teams are settling into the game more. The early adrenaline, early excitement is probably out of a lot of bodies, and I think now we have a game on our hands, and I think both teams need to get some continuity with the ball, and I think hopefully that's what Sarries will be able to do now off this scrum.
Scrum opportunity then for Saracens midway through what has been an incredibly entertaining first half of rugby, and they'll look to get this one moving with Harrison and Hardy. And Hardy bursts free, finds Sydney Gregson, fleet-footed in contact, and she's racing forward. Matatoga though gets there, stops Gregson, and Gregson, well, she looks aghast again. Crawling on the floor, the call from Hollywood, and well, Sydney Gregson looks shocked by that one, Jess, but the Lightning defence tracking back again. I think you've got to give credit to it.
Yeah, I think it's hard. If we look at the replay, it's a great line to the ball. Emma Hardy takes the ball to the line, and a great tackle there by Loughborough, last ditch tackle, and I think it's hard here. I think Sydney does have that extra role, but we're back on now. Down the short side, but carrying the ball by Emma Hardy, and Gabby Senft on the edge there. I don't really know what happened there. I think Gabby had the ball and then offloaded it to Loughborough. We've gone quickly. May Campbell carrying there on the edge.
Let's see what happens then. Campbell carrying hard. Virvas hunting for the ball.
All back.
It's gone backwards, so Harrison has to tidy it up, go herself. Virvas then continuing to hunt for the ball, and Hardy with the little dink through, chasing it herself. Emma Hardy looks to put boot to ball, but Kelter is there for her side.
I think that's nice what we're doing there, really challenging the Loughborough backfield with our little kicks in. But they've now got the ball in their 22, spreading it wide, which I think we've said before that they need to get it to their edge players to get some running rugby in.
Lightning then boot to ball again. Harrison, well, she takes that one coolly and calmly, Zoe Harrison, and feeds McKenna at pace. McKenna bursts free, one to beat, Sarah McKenna. Oh, the tackle was fantastic, and the ball is then lost forward in transition. But that from Saracens again was incredibly effective in transition, and Sarah McKenna rolling back the years with the speed there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if we could hear it on the ref mic or if we could actually hear it in the stand. You could hear McKenna say to Zoe, hit me, hit me, hit me, and it was a brilliant line that she hit off Zoe. Zoe taking it to the line there, and then McKenna, beautiful line, bursting through the Loughborough defence, and great step. I think it was lucky for Helen Nelson to get that little tap tackle, and it's just a shame there that Ella couldn't keep hold of the ball, because I think we're definitely having that momentum, and I think it just shows. And it happened last weekend in the Harlequins game. I think things offloads and stuff weren't sticking, and hopefully we'll have that ability to do it this weekend.
Let's hope. Well, something a bit different. We're bringing you some live in-game stats this week as well. Line-out success rate 100% for both sides. Loughborough 100% on the scrum, Sarri 75% with that free kick. Set piece going well for both sides so far, Jess, but you can see the possession and the territory here. Possession pretty even, but despite those Saracen surges in the last few minutes, it's been Lightning all the way through with that territory.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the first probably 15 minutes, Loughborough had good territory. They were definitely in our half, but I think maybe in the latter 15 minutes of this game, we've definitely pushed Loughborough, and I think we're playing more rugby in their half, which is where we want to be as Saracens.
Scrum then for Lightning.
Don't touch the line.
And Kelter, well, took that one sort of behind her back, but such is the strength of the USA international that she still managed to make those meters. And Davey to Nelson. Taken in the backfield then by McKenna. A little bit of a hospital pass there for Corrigan, but Corrigan tidies it up and goes. Alicia Corrigan, one-on-one Gets the offload away to Virvas, who is absolutely clattered by Kendall Wadby. But here comes Saracens now. Casolo. And Saracens are 5 metres out from the line. And now they go to type. Clifford with the carry. Virvas, a little bit of doubt, and Harrison looks to spin it wide. It's McKenna. It's out to Gregson. One player to beat. Sydney Gregson being held up, fighting, loses it, but it's gone backwards, says the referee. But it didn't in the second phase. Lightning knocking the ball on in the tackle, so Saracens will have the attacking scrum opportunity. Jess, cheering your support on as you go as well, but the speed of the transition from Saracens, again, so good. And if it's not Lottie Sharp making those breaks in midfield, it's Alicia Corrigan.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a lovely little break there from Alicia to get us on the front foot. I think it's a shame here Sid didn't quite finish this. I think
get your timing right.
Sometimes people say winging's jobs are easy, and actually maybe they're not so easy. But I think it's good that we've still got the ball and have the ability to attack again. I think we're definitely pressing Loughborough, and like I said before, we just need to have that extra bit in us to get over the line, because I think we deserve some more points from the board at the moment.
Let's see what happens then. Saracens with the scrum. It's motoring forward. They've got the penalty advantage, and Virvas out the back. Corrigan sees the gap, goes for the line, and she has a first try since returning to Saracens. It's Alicia Corrigan through the middle, and Saracens 12 points to the good. Jess, you felt that was coming, and Corrigan took that brilliantly.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've definitely been pressing Loughborough, and it's nice that we've been in the 22 and got some points away, and it's nice to see Leash get her first try of the season, which I'm sure she's been really wanting for a long time. I think definitely wingers want the ability to score, and it's nice. She's had a lot of moments in this game already, so it's nice to see her on the score sheet. And I think actually it might be probably 3-0 Alicia and Christy Skirfield nil, which I'm sure that will come and bite me in the arse later.
Well, Harrison, and at the moment, lining it up, putting it straight through the post. It's 14-0 to Saracens, and well, Jess, you said there Corrigan's got the upper hand at the moment. Skirfield, no doubt, will have a say in this match, but you can see this end-on angle here. Again, it's a little bit messy at the back from Saracens, but Virvas gets the ball out the back, and then Corrigan, you're not going to stop her from that sort of distance.
It's a great offload from Ella, I think, to have that ability and that confidence to give that offload out the back, I think is really good, and it just shows the confidence that we have as a team, and hopefully we can build on that now.
Restart then goes into the hands of Packer, carries hard into contact through Hibbert Jones and Skirfield. Well, Skirfield and a combination of Wadby eventually get the number 8 down. Campbell, well, she was appealing, thinking that was high. The referee said play on.
I think it's a great carry by Marley and by May to get on the front foot. Another little chip there by Zoe Harrison. I think we're definitely trying to control that backfield of Purple, and here Loughborough have the ball. Aliv Kelter again on the edge. Great tackle by Gabby.
Really good tackle from Gabby Senft. The Lightning coming again now in waves on the halfway line. And that ball, it's gone backwards. Nelson has to tidy it up and show some fleet footwork to get through. She's done really well there, Helen Nelson, to get into position. And then Davey puts boot to ball. Harrison goes tracking back.
Zoe's got a lot of grass in front of her, I think, if she carries on running. Opts for the kick, and it's a lovely kick just out there on the Loughborough 10-metre line. But we have a player down in the middle, Marley, so I'm sure the time will go off.
So Marley Packer down, receiving a bit of treatment. And I believe, though, we are able to go pitch side then to Duncan Taylor, who is with Lucy.
Well, Duncan Taylor, a pretty impressive start to the game for you guys. What's your assessment of this first 28 minutes?
Yeah, it's been good. I think the first 10 minutes we were under the pump a little bit, and we managed to hang on in there, and we've managed to get a bit of territory and a bit of possession since then. And we've taken 2 of our chances so far. We've probably left a couple out there as well, so we just need to keep making sure we get playing in the right areas of the field and taking those opportunities when they're there.
And there was a lot spoken before this game about Loughborough potentially taking the opportunity with Saracens coming into this in back-to-back losses. How important was it for you guys to really be quite attacking focused and start this game with real intensity?
Yeah, I mean, not just attacking focus, it was just across the board really. We wanted to be a little bit more prolific than we have been over the last couple of weeks. We've created a lot of opportunity and haven't been able to quite finish it off. So we haven't been far away. So we've just pushed that side of the game, just been a little bit more clinical when we're down in the opposition 22. And so far, you know, we've been better than we have been the last couple of weeks. So fingers crossed we keep pushing forward on this foot.
Yeah, and there's still, you know, a long way to go. The job's not done just yet. Where do you think the game's going to be won or lost today?
Well, probably within that sort of area of the game. I think, you know, Loughborough, they've got a great backline out there, and they're a pack that can move the ball around a lot. So I think it's going to be the team that takes their opportunities when they have them is going to be the team that will come out on top of this contest.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the game. Back to you, Harry.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Lucy. Great to hear the thoughts of Duncan, Taylor there, and Packer and Cosolo back up on their feet. Loughborough with a line out. Jess, Duncan saying that much more happy with how clinical his side have been so far today, and I suppose that is going to be the thing that is going to please Saracens most whilst this is still a tight game.
Yeah, definitely, I could agree, but I think he probably still wants us to be a bit more lethal in the 22 when we get in there, because I think we could have come away with a couple more points. But Loughborough at the moment have the ball from the line out, driving all. But it's been stopped now, and I'm sure they'll get it out. Kelter, little chip over, which I'm sure we saw in WXV. Great cover from Zoe, and she's off to the races. Zoe is great carry just over the halfway line in the middle of the pitch.
Opportunity then for Saracens again, and Virvas has seen that space with that booming kick. It's bouncing about. You never want to let that rugby ball bounce. Oh, and then Bryony Cleal. Well, it's going to be a high tackle there, despite the dip. Looked like she'd managed to get the player into touch, but you can hear Hollywood there, always upright. Shame for Saracens there, Jess, because she had absolutely walloped her as we look at this replay of Zoe's little break.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, great little break from Zoe. I think her positioning was really good to negate Alif Kelter's kick. It's just a shame there that we couldn't keep the ball and keep the pressure on. Like I've said previously, I think that's what we really need to do. But Loughborough are doing well. They're defending really well, and they're getting opportunities off our mistakes, which I'm sure will be good for them now they've got a line out.
Attacking line out opportunity then. Shredder wants this one to be good, and well, under pressure from Scent, but it is, and now the maul starts to trundle forwards and tick forwards. Well, Cleal has got herself in there. It doesn't matter whether it's Bryony or Poppy, there's always one of them in there making a nuisance of themselves at the breakdown.
Use it now, Ping.
And use it, the call. Davey is having to go hunting. And Saracens have done well there. A combination of Cleal and Evans forcing the turnover. You can see Duncan Taylor applauding his side there. Jess, fantastic maul defence.
Yeah, definitely. I think you could hear the clear comms from Hollywood there telling 5 Bryony Cleal not to change binds, and I think that's really important for the viewers out there. She couldn't change bind, otherwise she would be illegal and through the side, so she'd have to go back round. So I think it was really good discipline there by Bryony, and then I think McKinley came through the middle, so I think it's really good defence there from our forward pack, and hopefully they'll get a good shove on and hopefully give our backs the ability to run around.
Well, an opportunity then, as you say, Jess, but deep in the Saracens half. One thing that is good to see as well is that Helena Rowland has made her way back pitch side as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good. I think sometimes you just need 5 minutes to yourself, and then she's back out here supporting her team. So a big shove on by Saris. Ella at the back of the scrum, shifting the ball to Zoe. Emma Hardy running straight, hard and straight, which I think is really good, giving us a good carry in the middle. And Zoe's looked to use her boot again. But another great positioning by the Loughborough fullback.
Goldthorpe then, well, she weaves, Jinx goes, Fran Goldthorpe. This is the danger that she brings to the party, and Lightning now on the front foot. Curfew with the carry.
Okay, hands away.
Campbell clings on for dear life. And now here come Lightning again. Lovely ball into Hibbert Jones. Hunt gets her to ground, and here comes Davey. Nelson, and the ball being spun on Anne Young. The two props combining there for the visitors. And Scarrett, oh, that is beautiful from Emily Scarrett. Getting the ball free to Goldthorpe, and Matai Toga going into the 22, bursting through the first tackle, and Campbell has to get her to ground.
She's on.
Scarrett bursting free now. Loughborough's best attacking spell of this match.
No, you're off your feet now.
5 metres out. And here come the visitors into that pick and go game.
No. Use it.
Under pressure here. It's been a fast, frenetic game. You can hear both players and the referee panting a little bit here. Such has been the speed of this match. But here come Lightning now.
Hands up.
And they're getting ever closer. Meters away.
Okay, no
having a look
Arms up,
here
arms
now. And Curfey, the next to have a go.
Arms up. Hands up, one.
Loughborough at the moment content to keep it tight, drawing the penalty advantage with Packer offside. So they go out the back. McKenna looked for the intercept, but Goldthorpe tidies it up, gets it into Skirfield.
Penalty advantage.
And Skirfield, well, she looks like she's got that on the line. The referee is going to speak to her touch judge, but I think Chrissy Skirfield has hauled her side back into this one, Jess.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good play from Loughborough there. Like, not, Hollywood there awarded the try to Chrissy Skirfield, and I think Loughborough did well there. They had a lot of patience in the pick and goes, and then as soon as they got that penalty advantage, they had that confidence to spread the ball out wide. But I think that pass maybe wasn't what they first thought or wanted it to be. But to have that confidence to keep going and just obviously stop when the whistle was blown. Shame McKenna couldn't get that intercept, but I'm sure we would have gone back for the penalty advantage anyway. So I guess some people would say that we've pushed them out wide, so the kick's probably harder to get rather than under the post, but I'm sure Skazzy has her kicking boots on today. I'm sure she will.
Well, we talk about Zoe Harrison being percentage-wise the best kicker in the league this season. Emily Scarrett not far behind her in those stats.
Oh, sorry, no, need to.
Scored a try last weekend as well, a lovely try as well, turning on the afterburners. Scarrett then lining this one up, slotting it perfectly, and with 5 minutes left at the end of the first half, it's a one-score game again. Saracens 14, Loughborough 7. And Jess, do you think that's a fair reflection of how this half's gone?
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams have had the ability to score, and it's nice to see actually it's a bit of a competitive game. Obviously, with my Saracens hat on, I'd like us to have a few more scores on the board, but I think some of the individual players from Loughborough, like Fran Goldthorpe, I think is playing really well and giving Loughborough that ability to go out wide and have the confidence to carry and have the ability to make some meters.
Penalty advantage coming for Loughborough as well. And they're starting to get a second wind at the end of this first period. And Kelter then looking like she's assuming the kicking responsibilities now, will cannon that one towards the touchline.
No, not now, still players on the floor.
And let's see what happens then from the line out. Jess, is a great opportunity here for Loughborough to strike back again.
Yeah, definitely. A line out on the 10-metre line. I think Lily Ivers Champion's calling that, going up in the air. Great ball by the hooker, and Lily's caught it at the top of her fingers and driving more now. And see what Loughborough have got to do with this ability. Again, clear comms from Hollywood, the ref, to saying do not change. You can see that Meg Davies trying to reach that for that ball to get the ability to get it out to their backs. Here we are, Alice Kelter out the back to Helen Nelson, to Skaz. I'm sure she probably didn't want that ball. Great tackle by Sydney Gregson, but Loughborough still have an attacking opportunity here on the open side.
Opposite number on opposite number, but now here goes Nelson, and Nelson looks to feed Goldthorpe, and Loughborough have 2 in as many minutes, right back in this game. A conversion to draw level. Goldthorpe looks like she's in some discomfort, holding her knee after finishing that try. Hope she's okay. We look like we might have a little bit of an extended period of time here, Jess. But Lightning, well, striking twice in 2 minutes, and we talked about the threat of their backs. We've seen it again there. Talk us through this replay. This was all about the break from Nelson.
Yeah, great step by Nelson, and I think we're just slipping off some tackles there. I think we don't expect that probably from McKinley or Alicia, but I guess the fight that Alicia had to get back to try and stop the try is really good. But I think we need to have better discipline. I think that comes from a penalty. They then go to the line out, they then have a really good line out drive, Loughborough do, and then they get the ball in the hands of like Helen Nelson in open space, and she obviously has the ability to then finish it off to Fram Goldthorpe. And I just think that we're doing it to ourselves as Sarries players, and I think that's where things need to change, and I'm sure Alex will have a word with them at half time. But now we're potentially going in drawing, which we could have been going in 14-0, so I think it's a bit of a shame really.
Scarrett then lines it up, slots it, and as Jess said, with a minute left of the first half, we are even Stevens here at StoneX Stadium. Saracens 14, Loughborough 14, and my oh my do we have a game on our hands. Jess, you're talking about the penalty count. 8 conceded by Saracens in this first period, just 4 by Loughborough. And that tells the story really, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I hope for Christmas everyone asks for less penalty count for Santa Claus, because I think that's definitely what's killing us in these games, and I think we play good rugby and we just need to be able to keep ball and not put too much pressure on ourselves with the penalties. Well, Kelsey, I think that was Bryony Cleal, just a ball through her legs, which was unbelievable skills to have the ability to then give it to Gabby, who carried in the middle.
Here we go then, last play of the first half. Casolo then carries Viervas to Hunt. And Viervas goes hunting for the ball again. This feels like a big moment. Clock in the red on your screens. 20 seconds left on the stadium clock. And Harrison, offside, penalty advantage coming. Lottie Sharp inside to Corrigan. Fighting for the line. Corrigan. Oh, she's so close, but Lightning hold the ball up. They celebrate. Will come back for the penalty, and Harrison, she wants that ball quickly. She taps and goes, falls over, but Evans now goes herself up towards the line. This is huge at the end of this first period. Casolo drops the ball though as Clifford goes in, and that will be the break. 14 all at half time. Saracens with the opportunity. It goes begging. And well, lots of questions for both teams at the break to answer. We are going to be taking a short ad break, and Jess, you're going to be making your way across to the studio to join Lucy to go through a little bit more of that first half action. Thank you so much for joining us for that first 40 minutes. We'll see you on the other side of this ad break.
Here we go, Women's Rugby World Cup, England 2025.
Le moment tant attendu approche. Le public est prêt.
I was born for this.
Would you write off the reigning champions?
A new generation of players ready to set the tournament alight.
Mais t'as vu le dernier match de Mana FE? Elle a dominé.
La plus jeune capitaine française de l'histoire est gonflée à bloc.
Ellie Hildan scores all tries.
England are surely still hurting, but that was then. This is now. Everything's at stake here. Other teams are hunting Renee Holmes in the Black Ferns. Manuel Edger's so tough. Can she carry the nation to glory?
These players keep raising the bar higher and higher in search of rugby immortality. When this tournament's over, who will history remember?
From the dark ages to the digital ages, as one of the world's largest London metal exchange traders, StoneX is leading the revolution of the base metal market. BM Execute is an online, real-time risk management system for the base metals industry. Easy to use and rich in functionality, BM Execute will allow for easier risk management, real-time views, and reduced operational risk. BM Execute takes base metal trading to the next level.
Welcome back to StoneX Stadium. It is half-time here between Saracens and Loughborough, 14 each. Jess Breach, thanks for joining me from the commentary box. Of course, Saracens and England's wing. What have you made of this first 40 minutes?
Yeah, tough game. I think both teams had really good stints within the game, and obviously you can see that Saracens got on the score sheet first, and then Loughborough have made their way back, and obviously now it's a draw going in at half-time. So I think in the Saracens change room, I think Alex will be saying, come on girls, like we were 14 up, we don't want them to get back into the game, and I'm sure then in the Loughborough change room they'll be like, we really fought in that half to get back into it, which I think, you know, different parties, different perspective, but I think hopefully we'll come out in the second half and have the ability to get more points on the board.
Yeah, and it must be a little bit of a killer from a Saracens perspective to start so strong and then to let 2 tries in as many minutes just at the end of the first half. That's got to hurt, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think our penalty count is something like 8 or 9 compared to theirs, which is 4, which I think that's what's getting them into the game, having the ability to kick down the pitch, get a line out, get driving more, and then getting their fast backs onto the ball, which I think is killing us as a team. And I think if we stop that, negate that, and then I think that will be beneficial to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a little closer look at all 4 tries from the game. First one, of course, was Zoe Harrison in the 14th minute. Jess, talk us through this try.
Yeah, I think Zoe just sees the space and takes it on herself. Obviously, it's a penalty. She taps and goes on the 5-metre line, and just dots it down. I think the power and the strength that she has, I think, is really good as a 10, and to have that ability to just go, I'm going to carry the ball, I'm going to take it on myself, and I'm going to get over the try line. The determination, I think, is a credit to her character and her as a rugby player.
And I think great game smarts as well to take the penalty so quickly. I don't think Lightning had really quite set themselves up quick enough and managed to get over the line.
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes you see that as forwards, not maybe as much as your 10, your playmaker. So I think maybe Loughborough weren't expecting it as much as that we did. And then this second one is a great scrum by Saracens, and then Alicia gets the ball. I think we have a bit of like kerfuffle here at the back of the scrum with Marley and Ella, but Ella gets the ball and does a great out the back offload to Alicia, and I think that's the confidence to know that your support players around you, and the ability to just give that offload and know someone's going to be on the back of it. And I think Alicia's really excited because it's her first try since she's been back playing for Sarries, which I think is really, really good, and as a winger you want to get on the score sheet, and she hasn't done that in the game so far, so yeah, to have that ability to get her first try, I'm sure she was really buzzing about.
And of course, Olympic silver medalist. Tell us a little bit about the type of player that Alicia Corrigan is.
Yeah, she's quick, she's fast. I think she's grown a lot in the last couple of years, especially flicking between 7s and 15s. I think that gives her great knowledge of the game in both departments, and I think she's just a credit to herself and her character and the way that she's trained and gone and got that silver medal and then is coming back here because she wants to play the 15s game and potentially be in the World Cup for Canada. So I think it shows great determination as a player she is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it wasn't just Saracens who got on the board. Loughborough as well also scored 2 tries in as many minutes. So let's take a look at their first try.
Yeah, I think they were under penalty advantage here, Loughborough, and I think maybe that pass was just a bit of a fling, and I think Fran Goldfield does really well here to get the ball, and then I think Chrissy has a lot of fight here to get over the try line. I think Hollywood does go to her AR to just to confirm that it is a try, but definitely good strength to have that ability to roll over and place. I think you're allowed one movement when placing the ball for a try, and I think she definitely knew that rule there, Chrissy, and had the ability to get over the try line.
And of course, as we said earlier, 2 tries in as many minutes, the second by Fran Goldthorpe. Where did Saracens let themselves down to allow such quick scoring?
I think I've definitely already said it. I think it's definitely the penalties. That's where it's killing us. Here's the second try, obviously Fran's try. This all comes from the line out that they get from a penalty that Saracens gave away, and Helen Nelson just has absolute gas and ability to go on the outside of Shri and Shaz, and I think that's what's really crucial here, that I think our defence needs to get better and our penalty count needs to get way better.
Well, there's still 40 minutes yet to come. Nothing is done and dusted until that final whistle. We've recreated some of the magic by taking a look at all 4 tries of the game, but we do also have some stats to look at as well. So, Jess, just take a look at the screen. What kind of picture do these stats paint of this first 40 minutes?
I think it shows that it's definitely a game. We definitely have a game on our hands. I think maybe Saris are trying to offload a bit more, which you can see with 7, and having that ability to try and get on the front foot to try and get more carries, more meters per carry. They obviously have more visits into the 22, which I'm sure Alex won't be too happy about, that we've only been able to convert twice and having 7 opportunities, and Loughborough have only had 4 and they've converted twice. So I think their stats of conversion rate is probably a lot higher. And I think that probably is what is killing us, is that we're not converting when we get into the 22.
Yeah, no doubt. Some stern words being had in the changing room. I think we have a second lot of stats coming our way as well. Here we go. What do we make of this, Jess?
Yeah, like I said, so I was right with the penalty count 8-4. I don't think that's good our end, and I think you can tell by the game that possession in the territory is pretty 50-50. Both teams obviously scoring 14 points, and I think you can see that with how the game is playing, and then obviously turnovers. I think we've won 12 turnovers, and I think that's good. We have great jackal people on our team like Marley Packer and May Campbell, but I think it's the penalties that are definitely killing us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all to play for in this second half, 14 apiece. We are even Stevens. Now, earlier in the week, we asked all of you, the fans at home, to send in your questions for Jess. Jess, I hope you braced yourself for this. Let's take a look at some of the questions that have come in. So, question number 1 from Chowster1. Do you change your approach when your opposite number is someone you know well?
No, I don't. Everyone is the same. I think I know some players better than others. So say if I was coming up against like an Ellie Kildun or Abby Dow, we obviously train a lot together within the Red Roses camp, so I know them, but I wouldn't say my approach is any different. I think maybe I know that they might favour a certain side when stepping, but no, my approach is all the same.
Oh, very interesting. Question number 2 then, what have we got? From Sue Breach, how do you manage your food intake on a match day? That's a great question. You don't want to eat too close to game day, to match day.
No, yeah, true. This is actually from my auntie.
There you go.
So shout out. But yeah, food intake on match day, it all depends on what time the kickoff is. So a time like 2 p.m, I'd have some breakfast, maybe some porridge at home, and then we at Saracens get some food in the players' room. So there's like a breakfast, so beans, toast, eggs, all that stuff. So then I'd probably have some beans on toast and maybe some fruit. But I think it's really tough. Food intake on a match day is really hard to get your head around, because you're not hungry or you're nervous, and your tummy then gets a bit like on edge. But I think anything is good. So even like loads of fluids, I think is really good with some like smoothies that you make at home. So putting some oats in there, I think is really beneficial.
Well, for any aspiring rugby players, you've heard it from the best here. Fuel up ahead of game day. Question number 3 from Bruce Perkins. Is there any difference for you playing left or right wing?
No difference. I think playing on the right wing, the ability to kick is probably easier because it's an easier angle, whereas if you're on the left wing, like you're kind of kicking back into the groove. But no difference. Well, I don't feel like there's any difference. I think some players prefer one or the other, but I think it's really good to have the opportunity to play on both. If you've only just played on one, definitely ask your coach at home to be like, well, can I play on the other one, just to see if it feels different or if there's any difference. But I personally don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, fourth and final question coming in then. Let's take a little look from Wallopy Joe. What a great handle. How are you experiencing the increase in popularity of the women's game from the pitch?
Yeah, it's good. I think the crowds that you get at games are phenomenal. I think, last week we had 2,000 people here, which I think is really good in the wind and the rain. And here I think we've got just 1,000, which I think is really important. And it just shows like we're playing really good rugby and we have the ability to showcase what women's sport is about. And I think people are backing us and people are behind us and they have a good time when they come to the games. And I think you can hear them on the pitch, which gives you that extra lift, that gives you that extra excitement to be like, I want to play well for you guys.
Yeah, it really has been a phenomenal season so far, and of course more to come. The women's game is only growing. Now ahead of the second half, today we, of course, last weekend had the duel against Harlequins. Now it didn't quite go the way that Jess and her teammates would have wanted, but it was still a huge occasion for women's rugby and in the most British of weather conditions. Here's what happened last weekend, as well as a little sneak peek of episode 2 of the Saracens People Don't See, which is available to watch now on our YouTube channel.
One of my big motivations and drivers for playing rugby is that moment after you get a win, especially a big win, and you look around, you see the faces in the changing room, and they're the moments that are, so precious.
Before, all week we've spoken about supporting each other. All week we spoke about backing each other up. All week we spoke about when mistakes happen, how tight we become. And fellas, we had all of that in abundance today. In terms of the core fundamentals of who we are and what we want to be, fantastic fellas. So on that note, Tobias in the middle.
Well, the team's then back out on the pitch for the second half. Lightning sprinting out after that, sprint finish at the end of the first half to level proceedings up, and Saracens in a huddle as well. They know, as do Lightning, just how big these next 40 minutes are.
Okay, Marley, happy?
Jess will be back with us shortly. Thank you to all of you for sending in your questions for her as well at the break. We're back underway here then at StoneX Stadium, North London. Bryony Cleo, Virvas and Senft. Virvas again. Harrison goes aerial, boots to ball.
All good.
Lightning then
Whereabouts?
with a little bit
7 black offside and still
of uncertainty in the backfield, but then, well, offside.
Sorry. Yeah. 7
Against
black
the
offside and
Saracens
always
chasers, and a
advancing.
huge get out of jail card for Lightning, a huge error, you would have to say, for Saracens. And well, Lightning there missing touch, a big error from them, and Harrison has cannoned that one down the field, ball staying in play.
Sorry.
And now Lightning with Nelson, fleet-footed, jinking about the place, and she puts her side back on the attack. They have made a change at half-time, and how good is it to see Sadia Kabea back out on a rugby field. Not quite great seeing that one from Anne Young there, a little bit of a disappointing knock-on from her, but an opportunity for Saracens, as you can see Bryony Field warming up below us. Jess has managed to grab herself a coffee. We've not made it easy for you today with the amount of, we won't say running, speed walking that you've been having to do, but suitably refreshed after half-time?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry to anyone who knows my rehab schedule. Harry did tell me to run down the stairs, and I said, sorry Harry, I can't run. So don't worry, I didn't run. I walked swiftly to get my coffee.
For anybody listening then, that was not on me. Jess stuck to what she's been told to do. For both of these teams as well, I wonder what the messages were to them at half-time from the coaching box. Virvas, puts boot to ball, gets half charge down, and Corrigan does incredibly well to keep that in play. Packer does likewise, and here goes Clifford. Virvas being put under all sorts of pressure at that breakdown from Lightning. The back row especially are making an absolute nuisance of themselves here.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're putting pressure on ourselves, like Sydney Gregson being a bit flat maybe to the pass, and I think now they've counter-upped and Loughborough have got the ball back. I think, like I said in the first half, we just need to keep phases. The girls did look a bit, I don't want to say sad when they came out of the change rooms, but I think they definitely probably got a talking to or some at half-time.
Well, this is a huge half for both of these teams, make no mistake about it. And as we said, Saracens have been scoring those 2 tries, but Lightning came back into it. There's been some half-time scores and some early scores from around the grounds as well. If you don't want to know the current scores around the PWR, then this is your 5-second warning to mute me for the next 30 seconds as that ball ends up going into touch. We'll give you those now then. So Harlequins early on in that London derby, they're 7-0 to the good against Trailfinders. Big score from Kingsholm. Bristol Bears, 50 minutes on the clock, a 12-0 up away to Gloucester Hartpury in a repeat of last season's final. Bears then starting to make their move, Jess. They had a bit of a slow start to the season, but they've come roaring back into life, and some England internationals back in the mix for them as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Bristol is a team that is flooded with internationals, so I think they definitely benefit from
don't change one.
WXC players coming back.
To ground by purple there.
Loughborough have the ball there just over our 10-metre line. Driving ball. Holly Clear comms again about when to use the ball, but I think we've got some good Sarries players in there that have stayed on side and come through the middle. Unfortunately, Loughborough have been able to get it out to their backs. Kelter on the carry again, but great D by Casolo there. Tackle made in the middle.
Here come Lightning then sent. Well, she looked to lock up that tackle there on Nelson, but Nelson broke free again. We lost Eleanor Rowland in the first half, but
keep coming.
Well, Nelson has revelled in that 10 position since then. And
penalty
advantage coming as well as Scarrett feeds it out to Dogood. That is a big hit on her from Campbell. Ball retention is good, and here goes Kelter for Solo. Clatters her in contact. Penalty advantage still coming, and an inside ball to Scarrett now. This is the Lightning we saw last week against Leicester, with a penalty advantage coming as well. can hear our referee there, Hollywood. 3, not rolling the call. Kelsey Clifford,
Number
that one
3,
has gone against.
not rolling.
And, well, just we're level on the scoreboard, but this also feels pretty similar to that first half in terms of Lightning starting the faster, putting the pressure on, and Kelter going for touch, an opportunity for them to put themselves ahead for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry,
Right,
my
edge of this
microphone
one.
then.
Keep coming back,
yeah,
guys,
definitely.
on
I
the
think it's
You're on
tough.
the
I think Sarries really needs to get out of the blocks better. I think it's something that maybe we've had for quite a while, and I think we give teams an opportunity to get into the game. But they're overthrow.
Straight advantage over.
Straight hands into May. May kicks it on. Great kick. Might even be a 50-22. No.
May Campbell.
50-22. No way.
At the 50-22. Let's see what the referee has said.
No. That was before the 22.
Just before the 22.
No,
Jess, you
sorry,
look heartbroken on May's
I do not
behalf.
agree. That went out. That went where the post, where the touchline was. It went on the other side of the 22.
Before the 22
No way. I'd love to see a replay, please.
They're playing the role of pantomime villain, and Jess, almost as if you asked seamlessly, there is the nudge from May Campbell. It will be a Lightning line-out, but let's have a look here. Did it just bobble? Oh, I tell you what, I think the officials have actually got that just spot on.
Oh, but Karma, not straight line out, so we get the opportunity to have an attacking scrum or line out. Yeah, I mean the refs did get it right there. I am sorry. Great nudge by May. She must be doing kicking practice with Zoe Harrison.
Well, she must be. She must be going to the Cleal school of kicking. I think the amount of times we've seen one of the Cleals putting in a nudge this season. A couple of changes coming up as well then for Saracens, and well, some big changes here. Bryony Cleal and Marley Packer leaving the field. Bryony Field and Louise McMillan coming on in their place. So you would assume here then McMillan's going to go into the second row, Campbell into the back row, and Gabby sent to 8. Big call here from the Saracens coaching staff, but May Campbell started the season in that 7 jersey and looked at the manner born in it.
Yeah, definitely. I think Marley's done a good shift today in that 8 shirt. Maybe a position that she is getting back used to today with Poppy Cleal being out injured. So I think putting May in the back row, she's done phenomenally well there, and I'm sure she'll be very excited to have the opportunity again, I'm sure.
Well, the VT that she did with TNT before last weekend's duel answered the question, who is May Campbell? I think she's been around for a good 9-10 seasons here at Saracens, but not many people know the player. They certainly do now with the way she started this season, and they'll certainly know the Saracens scrum is on the up as well. Penalty advantage coming, and Harrison looks for the dink through. There's a knock on, so we'll come back for that penalty. Jess, you thought there was an offside there, and Young has been penalised for going in at the angle, but for Saracens, an opportunity here to go to the corner and start to try and get a little bit of energy and tempo back into the
on the 5, please.
Yeah, definitely a great scrum there by the pack. I think that's something that we pride ourselves on, definitely. I think Zoe maybe is a bit sore. She's got maybe a little boo-boo on her knee, I'm sure, from that tackle.
Guys, numbers 6.
But yeah, hopefully we can get a good driving line out, and we can get over, and that'll be a brilliant start to the second half.
Let's see then. Well, it's gone over the top. Cabea has tidied it up and burst away for the visitors. We were giving it the big build-up, and it's come look to Lightning, and they're going to look to go coast to coast. They're going to give it a go, and Masatoga bursts out from her 22, puts boot to ball. Corrigan has to watch that in the backfield, and now she sets off herself. Alicia Corrigan gets the ball free to Lossie Sharp. Good tracking from the co-captain. And now here comes Saracens. Viervas is under all sorts of pressure, draws the penalty again. There's a little bit of a shove in the back to Meg Davey there for good measure.
Come through and played the 9.
Playing the 9, Nicole, and well, Ella Viervas might feel that one of those has been coming her way, because she has been in the thick of the action so far this afternoon, being put under extreme pressure by that Lightning back row.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was great cover there by Alicia, and then great offload to get to Lottie. And I think, the Loughborough girls were definitely fighting that breakdown, Meg Davies and Alif Kelter, so I think I agree the penalty probably was coming our way, but another opportunity to hopefully get a try, but commentator's curse, I think that's what it's called, isn't it?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Now, it looked like there was a potential knock-on, but in amongst all of the chaos there around the line out, Saracens have come back with the ball. It's not been clean for either side, but it could still prove to be crucial. Evans has a go. The Saracens fans start chanting, getting the support going. And Viervas to Harrison, checks, goes herself, gets in a killer handoff, but she's been held up on the line. Matai Toga getting herself underneath there. Harrison, well, I think she thinks she wasn't actually at the line, so she should have been able to place, but the defence again from Loughborough is heroic.
I think actually she might be calling for a hair pull
Just make sure
which in the tackle, which I'm sure is not allowed, but if the ref doesn't see it, I'm sure it is hard. But again, there we see Zoe going for the line herself, which I think is a good thing from our 10. But they've gone for a restart. Oh, she's gone for a drop goal.
Lined up the drop goal here, Zoe Harrison. Oh, it's not a bad effort off of the goal line drop out. It just drifts wide of the left upright. Now, a few years ago, Sarah McKenna did something very similar away at Shaftesbury Park. She nailed that one that day. You can see the replay here. Off the goal line dropout, goes straight into the hands of Harrison. It wasn't a bad effort at all. Now, she's having another go here. That one, well, not as good as the first one off of the restart. And now here come Lightning again. What is interesting though, Jess, is that Saracens are starting to look to use the boot. If they get penalties, as that one goes backwards and comes into their hands, with how tight this game is, you imagine that kicking at goal might become an option.
Yeah, definitely. Great offload there. Go on, Emma.
Let's see what happens here first, though. As Jess said, great offload, and Hardy races forward. Macmillan, the next to have a go. Scottish international, she's just short. And Viervas looks for Clifford. Saracens looking for their third. McKinley Hunt has a look, thinks she's got it down. Hollywood having a really big look here, and she's given it. Saracens celebrate, they're back ahead, and McKinley Hunt with the try, her first of the season. The Canadian international prop, formerly of Exeter Chiefs, she made a bit of a, well, I'll say a tradition during her time in the West Country of crashing over from 1 or 2 metres. She brought that to North London last season, and she's brought it right back into play here. Just the carry from Macmillan was fantastic, so was the offload to Hardy, and from there that's what the pack have been threatening all afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great carry by Lou, great energy off the bench, and then the support play by Emma Hardy I think was really good, and then Lou obviously then carried again off that breakdown, so that double effort I think is really good. I think that's a tough decision for the ref to make. I'm sure from our side it's great that we can get on the score sheet, but I'm sure Loughborough, we heard them complain a little bit, and it's tough. Like there's no TMO when we're not streamed on TNT, but obviously we're doing a fantastic job, aren't we, Harry, on commentating the game and streaming it ourselves.
Yeah, I'd say so. Thanks very much for that, Jess. And Harrison, well, she did get the conversion, so it's 21-14 now the score. And as Jess said, when Saracens are at home and they're not on TNT, we're endeavouring to bring you extensive live coverage this season on the Saracens YouTube channel, PWR YouTube channel, and on TikTok as well. So make sure you tune in. Plenty of clubs this season looking to stream. Sale Sharks, they're streaming their games up at Haywood Road. Harlequins doing likewise as well.
I think we've gone into the great turnover. So an extra roll there, similar to the first half that Sydney did. Sadia Kabea, an extra roll there. I think we're going into the second half with some things that we did obviously extremely well in the first half, just like those little kicks in behind. Zoe kicking the ball dead there on that penalty. I'm sure that didn't go to plan.
22 or 12.
and I'm sure she's not very happy with that.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. That's a very unlikely
Scrum or
mistake
22?
from Zoe.
Yeah, scrum.
Something that doesn't happen that often. So Loughborough have got the opportunity for a scrum on the halfway line, 15 metres in from the touch, which hopefully, for their sake, they can get the likes of Emily Scarrett, Chrissy Skerfield, Alice Kelter on the ball and attack the space that they've got. Obviously, Sarries have to defend up and have the opportunity to, first of all, do a really good scrum.
As you said, going to be a lot to play for in these last 30 minutes. Harrison will be disappointed with that. We'll see what happens with this scrum for Loughborough as well. We will be bringing you the thoughts of Nathan Smith very shortly, but for the moment, he is ensconced in the action as we are, as Scarrett fizzes that one wide to Skerfield. McKenna comes up into contact, makes a crucial tackle for her side. And now Wadby, the next to have a go. Matai Toga wrapped up by Casolo. And Roland gets it on. Dogood, great carry from the second row. Fantastic presentation, keeping the ball alive for her side. And Scarrett, well, she's starting to weave some magical spells across this pitch with her passing range this afternoon. But the Saracens' counter-ruck is strong. And Vivas now gets her hands on the ball. It's a little bit slow, but Macmillan tidies it up, comes into contact, and now Vivas sees the space, kicks in behind, and Sharp chasing Matai Toga. Oh, what's happened there? Matai Toga taken back. It'll be a 5-metre scrum to Saracens.
God, that was absolute mayhem, that was. So great tackle by Lottie on the edge, and then a great counter ruck by the Saracens players to give the opportunity to get the ball back, and then Ella caught the Loughborough girls offside and had the ability to see the space in behind to put a little grubber in for Lottie to chase, and then she put pressure on the Loughborough replacement winger Matteo Bosi to put the ball on the floor, and then we've got a scrum 5 metres out.
In the end, it's that horrible curse of the bouncing rugby ball for Bulu Matai Toga. She's been so impressive since she's come into the action this afternoon, but Saracens now with an opportunity, thanks in part to that chase from their now only on-field captain in Lottie Sharp, to try and get themselves 2 scores to the good.
Okay, come up.
For the moment though, we're going to have a little bit of a stoppage. Both front rows
I'm happy with both your
just
positions,
wanting to make sure that they are reset and they're in a good position. The scrums have been really good from both sides so far today.
I wonder what Sarries have got planned here. I think you've got Gabby at the base who could probably pick and go and try and trundle over herself, or get it out to the backs and give them an opportunity to showcase what they're about. But I'm sure the props and the hookers will want to scrummage first and hope they get a good shove on.
Well, we've seen the number 8 picking and going a lot for Saracens this afternoon. For the moment though, they're looking to get the trundle on going forwards, and Viervas now plays it. Hardy short to Gregson. She is wrapped up hard in contact. And now Saracens come again. Campbell the next to have a go. Viervas snipes to Senft.
Okay, you're up your feet now.
But Loughborough, they think they've got the turnover. They've got the penalty instead. And Saracens, well, these feel like big moments. We will be going to Nathan Smith soon, but we'll let this play out first and see what happens here. Big moments for both sides, and Saracens have opted to go for the posts. Jess, right in front of the sticks, probably a sensible call with how this game has gone.
Yeah, I'm unsure actually. I think, yes, sensible decision to have the ability to go, get my maths right here, 10 points adrift, so obviously two scores, and Zoe obviously slots it over with the great kicking success she has. I'm unsure why we didn't go for maybe another scrum and have the opportunity to maybe get a 7-pointer, but maybe Sarries feel like they've got the momentum over Loughborough, so they can, catch the restart and go again. But I'm sure Loughborough will come back fighting and see what they've got to say.
I think that's a huge credit to the Loughborough Lightning performance as well. Speaking of Loughborough, we're in position then with Nathan Smith. Lucy has got his thoughts for us.
I've got Charlie Beckett here. Charlie, thanks so much for talking to me. A really incredible finish that first half, 2 tries in as many minutes. How pleased are you with the performance so far today?
Oh, sorry, take the line,
I thought first that we were really poor. We said that at half time. I thought a lot of what we said we wanted to do in the week we hadn't. I thought our energy was low and we weren't as physical as we wanted to be. Thankfully the girls got their act together a bit in the last 10 minutes of that first half and gave us a chance. Obviously now we're 10 points behind again, so we've got another mountain to climb. We keep giving ourselves that at the moment, but the girls are showing they can do it. But yeah, we were pretty disappointed with our first 30. Got ourselves back in it last 10 of that half, but we've got to do it again now.
And how do you do that? How do they overcome the hurdle that's now in front of them?
I think we saw in the first half when we played more direct, we had more luck and we got more success. So our maul has been good so far today. So can we get more ground, more territory, get the front foot to our maul, and then just being direct. We've been playing a little bit side to side at times, which we know Saracens want to blitz. We know they want to come hard off the line. So to counter that, we have to be direct. We have to run into the teeth of them. At the moment, we haven't been. We've been inviting that pressure. So more direct in attack, and in defence, we need to drop our contact height and be more physical. They've got big ball carriers who get off the game line if you go high. And at the moment, we're letting them get yards by going high. So more direct in attack, lower contact height, and more physical in defence.
Lovely. Well, best of luck for the rest of the game. Thank you, Charlie. Back to you, Harry.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Apologies there. It was going to be Nathan Smith, Charlie Beckett stepping in, then a more than able deputy. And, well, as we said, disappointed with their first half, Jess, but they've come right back into this now and an attacking opportunity after that knock-on as Davey has to juggle it and get the ball into the hands of Nelson.
Yeah, giving Christy that one-on-one opportunity.
Let's see what happens here then. Sorry to jump over you. Masatoga is bursting free, is weaving her way down the field, and here goes Goldthorpe now into the 22. Campbell down on her haunches in the backfield, but Lightning, no doubt about it, they sense their opportunity here in this last quarter of the game. Ellis Martin onto the field for her side, and Davey again to do good. Said her name so many times today. The second row. And they're building the phases now. Here's the opportunity with the dink through. Kelter looking for it, winning it, holding it, scoring it. Alev Kelter, Nathan Smith, Charlie Beckett celebrating next to us. She scored against her old side. She's returned to haunt them, and Lightning straight back into this one again.
Yeah, I think it's a great vision by Helen Nelson to put the ball in behind for Alev Kelter to chase on. They were building the pressure against Sarries. Like I said, they've got good momentum, and they definitely keep the phases. They're a team that keeps the ball in hand and keeps building, and they definitely saw that opportunity in the backfield. No one was there. Zoe had come up. And yeah, it was good. I think that's good rugby. It's something that we want to see, and it's now a competitive game.
It really is a competitive game. It has been that way from the first minute, and it's nervy, I think it's fair to say.
It's a great chase back there by Alicia. The fight, I think, is really good. So no tackle was made on Alev Kelter, so I thought that she got tackled, so she would have had to release the ball, but because she didn't get tackled, she didn't have to release, so she could present the ball and score the try, which I think is good knowledge of the game and good awareness to know that she just has to reach out and score. And Skazzy gets the conversion, which brings the score tighter than I'm sure we would like.
Well, it shows how crucial then that decision to go for the posts was for Saracens. A 3-point ball game with a quarter of an hour left on the clock, and a substitution or two down below us. We'll give you the Saracens one first. It's McKinley Hunt coming off, Akina Dondwe coming on for her.
Let's go, Sarri!
And Lightning are making a couple of changes as well. There's Leah Brebner Holden, not quite entering into the action at the moment by the looks of things. Fran Goldthorpe, a little bit of running repairs, and she's good to go. So Brebner Holden will be joining the action imminently, just not quite yet. And Isla Curfew has made her way off. Laura Keats coming on to the field. It's a 3 3-point game then, as Goldthorpe bursts through that tackle, puts her side right back on the front foot. And there goes Wadby. How impressive has Kendall Wadby been this afternoon in that 7 jersey? And Kelter, well, it's not her cleanest kick, but it's certainly done the job. It's put the pressure on, and Harrison, she's seen the space in the backfield. Kelter has to go tracking back. That one, though, is bouncing and going and canning in, and luckily for Saracens, that has not gone dead. Kelter could have grounded it. Instead, she's gone boot to ball, and it's a decent clearance nudge up to the 22-metre line. But the pressure is certainly on here for both of these sides.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good spot of space there by Zoe Harrison. I think maybe she needs to relax her hamstrings a bit and just take some heat off the kick. But a good kick chase by Sarries, which I think we pride ourselves on. And then, Alif Kelter deciding not to dot it down, but to kick it out, which gives us a good attacking opportunity that hopefully we can do something with.
Substitution below us then for Loughborough Lightning as well. Meg Davey on her 100th appearance for the club.
Yeah, well done.
Her day is done, and she has been impressive throughout this one. Huge round of applause for her from the fans, from both sets of benches, and a couple of deserved hugs down there for the scrum half, who have put in a fine showing this afternoon, as has the rest of this Lightning side. Saracens, though, on the attack, getting themselves to ground as Evans goes forward now. A slight hint of a knock-on, but Casolo tidying up. Saracens back in this 22, but big moments again as Hardy carries hard. Kelter fights, but Hardy manages to get that knee to the ground, and then it's knocked on and popped up again, and it's going to be a scrum for Loughborough. The handling so far today, not quite as crisp as Saracens would have liked, Jess, as we see Meg Davey on the screen there.
Yeah, I'd just like to say credit to Meg Davey. I think she's a stalwart for Loughborough, and obviously you can tell by playing 100 games and only being in the age of 24 or something. And I think she's a good little player, and I think you need a good 9. You need a good 9 in your team to boss the forwards around, as well as give the ball to the backs. And I think that's what she's done. And we just see Lottie Sharp coming off there, the co-captain for Fancy Bermudez, who made her debut for the club last weekend. And I'm actually really excited to see what Fancy can do for us. I think she's done really well for the Canadian 15s and 7s team. And I'm really excited actually.
Well, she's another one of those 7s exports. There's plenty of them in the league at the moment, plenty of them from Canada and from the USA. She's replaced Lottie Sharp, so it'll be Sarah McKenna and May Campbell co-captaining this Saracen side. And that ball end over end, or McKenna holds onto that well, and check, stops, goes, bursts free. Masatoga, though, wallops her to ground, and Viavasta Clifford. Bermudez just tracking on this outside at the moment. Such a threat when she gets the ball, but Saracens need to get it to her. You can tell how tense this one is getting. Loughborough win the penalty for holding on, and we're where we are in our commentary box. Out of our right ear, we've got Messrs Beckett and Smith cheering like their lives depend on it. On our left, we've got that Saracens coaching box. It's supposed to be soundproof, but we can still hear Alex Austerbury there shouting instructions to his side.
I think actually Alex was outside the box when he was shouting. I don't think he's that loud. He is a loud man, but I don't think he's on the edge. It's just a shame there we can't get the phases strung together, and I think that's what we need. We're an attacking team. We want the ability to have ball in hand, but it's credits to Loughborough and their defence. They've got great jacklers on the pitch, and another great one that they have got back from injury, which is Sadio today.
Well, that line-out didn't initially work, but it's tidied up, and Kelter has seen space, and it's now a foot race. Yes, Corrigan tracking back, tidying up. That was a foot race that we've seen on the 7s circuit so many times. Seeing it in the PWR today, and Corrigan, well, she had to be so precise there, and she was the winger.
Okay, watch your entry stop there, girls.
Harrison, boot to ball, down the field. 12 minutes to go and 3 points in it. 3 tries apiece as well. And here come Lightning. Mataya Toga runs it into Gregson. And now it's Lily Ives-Campion with the carry. She's been industrious for her side again today as well, and a chip through, pressure on, and McKenna is hit high. This could be a card, I think, here. Let's see what the referee has to say. We'll just turn the ref's mic up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, penalty only, guys. High tackle, number 11.
So there we go, penalty only, the call there. That one against Chrissy Scurfield, and Harrison sends that one into the 22. You can see the replay here. It was a clever dink through
right on the 22.
From Lightning. McKenna takes it under pressure, and well, Scurfield, I think that's the right call from the referee. Both players arriving at the same time, and McKenna just ducking into that tackle.
Yeah, definitely. I think McKenna's positioning there was really good to spot the kick early and hold back in the defensive line. But now we've got an attacking opportunity in the 22.
All back by Black, then play scrum advantage.
I'm not going to speak anymore, I don't think, Harry, when we've got a line out, because I seem to be jinxing it. So you can do it from now on.
You do indeed. Fortunately for Saracens, the ball has come back on their side. This is a big moment now. Scrum advantage is over, and Gregson puts her foot down. Virvas, Campbell, that is a cannoning carry from May Campbell. Macmillan, the tackles, the carries coming in from both of these sides are huge right now. Cabea the next, and Harrison out the back. McKenna floated to Bermudez. Wrapped up well there by Mattia Toga, and Virvas has to go hunting again. Here goes Kelsey Clifford. Virvas to Casolo. Cabea is there again, of course. Sadia Cabea is there again. The ball's gone backwards though, and Lightning tidy it up, coming away with it. Ellis Martin was the quickest there, and now they can break from deep. Mattia Toga with the carry now. And you feel that those moments could end up being crucial for one of these sides at the end of this game. But Saracens win the penalty back. They wanted to go quickly, but they were in front of the mark. A little bit of a chaotic few minutes there for everybody, but Saracens with a penalty decision here, Jess. And you suspect set piece might be the option here.
Yeah, I think they're making some decisions here. Zoe's running over to the ball, which I think we are going to the corner with. So I am not going to commentate on the line out because I'm the bad voodoo on that, so Harry will take you over. But I think, again, like I said, we need to execute in these areas of the 22, but I'm not going to say anything for now on.
Well, Jess is keeping Sturm on this one. Briny Field throwing in, Lightning getting up, but the maul is set, and here goes Saracens now. Field at the back. This is where Saracens will look to turn the screw. They're creeping, edging, inching, scoring. No, they're not. It's been
changing bind.
Well, a bit of a confusion here then. Initially, the score was given. Then it was called held up, and then changing bind the call. So we've come back for the penalty. Let's have a look here. Harrison's gone to the corner, but surely if they've changed the bind in a maul that's going forward, penalty try would have been the option there. Let's see what happens from this line out though. Saracens went close once. Now they've gone to the back, and they'll have a second bite of the cherry. That one is powering forwards, and that looks like it's been held up again. Loughborough again, heroically, stoically defending with everything they have, and they have denied Saracens twice in 30 seconds. Held up on both occasions, and they'll have a goal line dropout and an opportunity to live again, to breathe again. And Nelson just taking her time with this restart, looking for Bermudez, and now Fancy looks to go, her first real carry in anger.
Tackle, release!
I think that's a shame there that we had two goes at the apple, and we couldn't get a try under our belt, but hopefully we can set some phases up here. Great tip by George Evans there to Bryony Field, and hopefully we can get some momentum and get over the scoreline.
These
Again,
really are the championship minutes for both of these teams. Ascent carries, and Harrison, McKenna cuts inside. Sarah McKenna now meters away from the line. Virvas, Bermudez. The passing lane is blocked, but she doesn't need it. Fancy Bermudez scores her side's fourth, scores her first, and crucially, with 6 minutes left on the clock, takes her side more than a score clear here in North London.
That's exactly what I wanted to see from Fancy today. Bit of footwork there when she caught the goal line dropout, and then having that ability to power over the try line. And actually, if anyone can hear the song in the stadium, we do pick our favourite song when you score the try as players here at Saracens. So she's picked Fancy, which I think is quite ironic actually.
I think it is. I remember when she first turned up here, because it was on her signing video as well, she wanted to hunt out the media team and ask who had come up with it originally, just to give everybody a little bit of a fist pump and say, yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Well, Loughborough then, they defended so well there, but they are now going to have to chase the game as well. Harrison's conversion has drifted wide. It's an 8-point game, 29-21, and Loughborough, well, they're bringing on their version of a little mini bomb squad there. Amelia Williams, Becky Boyd, great to see her back out on the field, and Carmela Morel. Now, Morel was playing in Bucks on Wednesday at 12 against Exeter University. She put in a player of the match performance there, and she's going to be looking to do the same again here in the PWR in these final few moments. Jess, I'm going to tease this a little bit with how close this game is. We'll come to you towards the end for your player of the match. Start having a think about who has shone for you for both teams. I'll get you to do a little bit of a build up to that in a minute, but for the moment,
great shot there by Bryony Field. Loughborough do have a bit of momentum here. Great snipe by
she's gone beyond
by the Loughborough 9. It's unlucky again.
Penalties and then onto the ball.
Penalties from Saracens, giving them the opportunity to kick in the corner and have another opportunity to score a try.
And put the pressure on again with under 5 minutes to go here. Well, Cabea has left the pitch again. I wonder if that's managed minutes for the Red Rose. Even still, with those minutes she was on the pitch, boy did she make an impact. Sardiet Cabea, Emily Scarrett off as well. So Loughborough Lightning without a couple of their big names here, but so much strength in depth this season, as we've been saying.
Time off.
That they're going to have an opportunity. Let's just listen to Holly Woodley speaking like here, though.
But you're gesturing at me, please don't speak to me like that, because I don't to you.
Laying down the law then to Gabrielle Sent, putting down the law, no gesturing to her as Laura Keats is receiving a little bit of treatment there.
That's all right.
I think maybe I can talk to you about who potentially would be my player of the match. I think both teams have had some really good players.
Cool. Just hold her there until I put time back on.
Fran
Sarries, you're on
for
the edge.
Loughborough has played really well, as well as Aleph Kelter.
Time back on.
But there's been, like you said, some great players. You saw that stat there, the penalties conceded for both sides, 10 for Saracens, 7 for Lightning, but 16 turnovers for Sarries, 12 for Loughborough Lightning. You can see why this game is as close as it has been, and it's going to be a scrum for Lightning. They're 8 points down, but they're hunting not only a try that would get them back within a score of victory, but one that would give them, well, at least 2 losing bonus points as things stand. But Jess, you were saying there, before we give the big build-up for the player of the match at the end of the game, Fran Goldthorpe been really impressed with.
Yeah, really impressed with. I think her ability to stay within the game as an outside back, I think, is really crucial. I think, for me personally, I don't want to see wingers or fullbacks just standing on the edge. I think her involvements in the game have been really high, and I think she's something that to look for in the future. I think Loughborough really got a good in there, and then obviously Aleph Kelter has made some good dents in the midfield. I think Lily Ivers Champion's done really well in the lineouts as well. I think she's called them really well and had some of our lineouts stolen, which I think shows the the character and the experience that she now has being a Red Rose.
Like you said, so much experience, but so many young players making their mark as well. There are a couple of score updates to bring you, so I will tell you to mute me in about 30 seconds, but we'll see what's happened at this scrum first, as Lightning have to hunt for the ball. They're under a bit of pressure there, and Brebner Holden to Morel. It's bouncing about. Time is not on the side of the visitors, but they've got a penalty advantage coming. Harrison not rolling away, and they're going to want to try and take this quickly. You can hear Skirfield saying, go, 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 go. She knows what is at stake here. And a difficult decision for Loughborough. They're going to go for tap and go. There was the question there of were they going to go for the corner or the scrum, but they're going to tap. Hibbert Jones out the back to Kelter, coming in at pace again. McMillan tidies her up. Campbell getting her hands in there for her side. Brebner Holden to Hibbert Jones.
Great carry there by Daisy.
Minutes left on the clock, but it's coughed up, it's knocked on, and we'll come back for that scrum. Big moment there in the game, and Jess, I think a perfect opportunity for you to tell us who your player of the match is today.
This is too much pressure on me, Harry. I feel like it doesn't want to be my favourite person that I like at Saracens. But I think some shout outs though for me would be Alicia Corrigan. I think she's played really well. Again, another outside back that's got involved. I think Georgia Evans has played really well. May Campbell. But I think for me today, I think it goes to Kelsey Clifford. I think you don't sometimes see the work that these forwards put in, and she works really hard. I think she came off at like 75 minutes, so I think for a front row forward to be able to play 75 minutes in a Premiership game is really good, and I think she carries the ball really hard. She's always a menace at breakdowns, and I think actually for me, these kind of people don't get enough credit. I think you always, give a player of the match to the people that score tries or the people that make line breaks, when actually for me, I think without her we wouldn't be on the front foot so much. So for me today, Kelsey Clifford is my player of the match.
Time back on.
Well, you heard there then, Kelsey Clifford is the player of the match. There she is on your screen. Well, she's looking a little bit forlorn at the moment. Such is the way this game has gone. It's taken a mental toll, I think, as well as a physical toll on both of these teams. We'll be speaking to Kelsey at full time, but for the moment she'll be hoping that her side get themselves through these last couple of minutes, and that, with Carmen Tremling on in her place, is one way to do it. Drawing the penalty advantage over after that cannon of a kick, and that's good from Harrison. It puts Loughborough where they want them to be, hemmed down in their half, but with pressure on again. Rushing up there is Alicia Corrigan. The ball has gone backwards. Her and Skirford then trip over each other, and Kelter burned through, but then a tackle off the ball on Corrigan, a penalty. And Jess, that could be the game. Do you reckon this is potentially the opportunity with the bonus in the bag to point for the sticks?
I think it's tough. Yeah, I think we can definitely point for the sticks, but I think there's not many minutes in the game, and I think we could go for the corner, but I think shot's been called. I think when you've got the kicking ability on your team like Zoe Harrison, I think there's no doubt that you're going to go for that, and it obviously kills time on the clock. The clock doesn't stop for when the penalty is being taken, so I think smart decision. Running down the clock and giving Zoe that ability to get 3 points on the board for us.
Lining this one up then. Well, the stadium gong has gone. Your screen says a couple of minutes left, so we'll see what happens after this kick. But for the moment, Harrison lining it up.
I think Hollywood, the ref, just said that we've got about 2-3 minutes. Oh no!
Well, that is the final whistle then.
Fair
Zoe
enough.
Harrison. Well, she laughs, she sighs, and a bit of relief in the end there. It's Saracens 32, Loughborough Lightning 21. A little unfortunate for Joya Bennett there, who was ready to come on the sideline. But what a game we have had here in North London, Jess. Lightning, well, they will be heartbroken that they've not come away from this match with any points to show for their efforts. That is the Lightning that we expected we would see at the start of this season. Physical, abrasive, attacking, and just incredible across the park. Some superb performances, like you said. The Saracens just doing enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think it shows where the league is, like I've said at the beginning, that all games are going to be hard. And I think Loughborough should be proud of themselves. They definitely brought it to us today. And I think we need to get better as a team. If we want to be in that top 4 spot, we need to be able to put teams away and be able to finish it. And I think, we had glimpses of that today, but not fully. And I think it's a shame, but like I said, Loughborough really brought it to us. And I think they're doing really well, and I think in the future or in other games to come, I think they could definitely spoil some parties. But I can bring you some score updates from the other games that are playing.
We'll just say very quickly before we say that, if you don't want to hear them yet, mute this now for the next 30 seconds. Jess, give us the big updates.
Okay, so at half-time, Harlequins are leading Trailfinders 33-7, which I think is definitely a very big scoreline. And Bristol Bears full-time score. This is a big one, so if you don't want to hear, please turn us on mute. They won 19-14 to Gloucester, so that's a massive win away from home for Bristol. I'm sure they will be very buzzing with that and singing their bird song with pride. And then obviously there's the Sale Sharks Leicester Tigers game tomorrow, live on TNT.
Let's have a look then at the league table before we make our way over to Pres to speak to our player of the match and some of the coaches. Saracens then up to 3rd, a bonus point win. They did what they needed to do, but boy oh boy was it tough. Loughborough, well, they're still in 6th, 10 points behind Gloucester Hartpury, but that was close. We will be taking a short break, and then when we come back on the other side, we'll be able to chat with our player of the match, Kelsey Clifford, hear from both coaches and the winning captain. So we'll see you very shortly on the other side.
From the dark ages to the digital ages, as one of the world's largest London metal exchange traders, StoneX is leading the revolution of the base metal market. BM Execute is an online, real-time risk management system for the base metals industry. Easy to use and rich in functionality, BM Execute will allow for easier risk management, real-time views and reduced operational risk. BM Execute takes base metal trading to the next level.
I'm Amber Shannard.
Simi Pam.
Roisin McBrien.
I'm a tattoo artist.
I'm a locum doctor.
I help people achieve their financial goals.
I'm powered differently.
Differently.
Lizzie Golden. Sydney Gregson.
Freya Orkin.
I'm a solicitor. I'm a teacher.
I'm a marine biologist. I'm powered differently.
Differently.
Karis Cox. Lucy Knight.
Isla Curfew.
I'm a registered nurse. I'm a flight lieutenant in the Royal Air Force.
I work in construction.
I'm powered differently.
Differently.
Well, Jess, as you said, we've not run, we've speed walked across to the studio, and now I believe Lucy is pitchside then with your player of the match this afternoon, Kelsey Clifford.
I'm joined by player of the match, Kelsey Clifford. Kelsey, congratulations. How are you feeling after that one?
Very tired, but yeah, I'm happy that we've got the win at the end of the day. It's been a tough couple last 2 games, but yeah, we finally got the win under our belt, much needed. So yeah, just trying to build on that going into next week.
And look, coming into this match after back-to-back losses, psychologically it must be quite tough to kind of gear yourself up and get yourself ready in the right mentality for this. How did you sort of overcome that to come into today's game?
I think we build under pressure. When the pressure comes on us, that's when we like to stand up. I think that's when our best performances come, and it showed today. It's just making sure that we don't get in that position again, that we build on this momentum, and then take this into hopefully build on to the rest of the season. And we want to be in that fighting for the top 4, and only wins is going to get us there.
Building under pressure, just like a diamond. Where did you have the rub of the green over Loughborough today?
I think Zoe just managed us very well, putting us in the right areas, and then putting us in the right areas, you get points in them in like the 22. It's just making sure that when we are in them in the 22 that we're clinical. I think we left a couple of tries out there. It's making sure that when we build on to next games and following games, we don't. Them points could be like crucial to winning the games. So it's just making sure that we sharpen up on our skills.
And of course, next week you are going to be away to Leicester Tigers. How are preparations going to look for that game?
I think it's just working on the things that we didn't quite click in the game today, and making sure that we just smarten up our areas. The accuracy, I think, can be improved. But yeah, other than that, look, we won, which was the main thing, and it's just building on that.
It is the main thing indeed. Well, congratulations, Kelsey Clifford. She is your player of the match. Back to you in the studio, Harry.
Well, that was beautifully choreographed by the pair of us there, walking side by side. Jess, Kelsey Clifford there, your player of the match. You said sometimes an unsung hero in this team, but tell us a bit more detail. What was it that stood out for you today?
I think Kelsey just gets us on the front foot with all her carries. Like, she always makes meters, and I think that stuff that gets unnoticed, I think, sometimes when actually she gets us the momentum, she gives us that opportunity to then get the ball out wide for people to score, like Alicia and Fancy, when actually she's done the hard graft in the middle. And I just think that her ability to constantly do that on repeat for 75 minutes, I think is phenomenal.
And she's someone that has been around this Saracen squad for a while, came through quite young, now starting to make her mark internationally as well. And so many talented young props coming through in the game at the moment, but the likes of her, Maud Muir, Red Roses are in a really healthy place. Yeah, definitely. I think it's competitive, and that's what you want. You want the ability to not know who's going to play week in, week out for the Red Roses or even here at Saracens, and that's definitely happens with a lot of positions, and I think it's just hard graft that each individual player does to make them be in the best position and the best place possible to get selected. As well as Kelsey then, where you said you were going to make a point of trying not to pick your best mate in Zoe. She had another strong game though, bar one kick that went dead, did exactly what she needed to do for her side today in terms of keeping them moving around the park. Yeah, definitely. I think she got the girls moving around the park, put us into really good positions, and like I said, got over herself on the score sheet and then had another opportunity to dot the ball down. And I just think that maybe sometimes you don't see that part of her game, and maybe she was taking the ball by the horns today and having that being like, well, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get us, the win and put the team in the best place possible. So I think, yeah, it's really good for her to get on the score sheet again and have those carries that maybe don't normally happen in her game. But yeah, her kicking ability I think is just outstanding, and I think, like I said, at the end of the games, to have the opportunity to go to her boot to get the conversion, I just think is the confidence that we have within her. Even in defeat though, let's talk about Helen Nelson. Starting at 15, had to slot in at 10 with Helena Rowland going off, but she was so impressive there today. Yeah, definitely. I think she naturally plays like a 10 role, I think, for Scotland, so I think for her to slot in there is probably quite easy for her, and she definitely did well for the Loughborough team. And who knows, it might have been a different story if Helena had stayed on at 10 and Helena Nelson had gone to 15 still. And I think we
we pride ourselves on being able to fight back, but I think Loughborough definitely did that today, and they fought back and they made it a tough game for us, and I think it shows with the scoreline.
Like we said right at the top end of the show, just quickly before we go down pitch side, it shows the strength and depth of this league as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely 100%. Like I said, anyone can be in the top 4 this year and probably in the last year as well, and I just think having that ability to have tough games is good for the league and it's good for the players.
Well, we'll be hearing from both camps then. We'll be starting down pitch side with Lucy, who I believe has got Nathan Smith with her.
Nathan, commiserations today. A really strong performance, but just not quite able to get over the line in the end.
Yeah. All credit to Saracens. They were the maturer side and sealed the game out in sort of the last 20 minutes. Very disappointed.
There were some moments of brilliance from your side. I heard a commentary describe your defence at times as heroic. What are some of the positives that you can take away from today?
There's plenty of positives. Like, we rewound the clock 12 months ago and we're getting absolutely hammered here. So we're a competitive PWR side of we're a match for anybody. It's just disappointing. I think we've certainly missed an opportunity today, and I think that's why there's a little bit of emotion after the game. I think the girls understand they've missed an opportunity as well.
But we know that your side is absolutely littered with incredible talent. Is there still more to come from your side?
Yeah, certainly. Like, it's, everyone's in the same boat. We've got quite a few new players in. We're still building, we're still connecting as a team, if I'm being brutally honest. But everybody's in the same boat. That's the position we put in.
Lovely. Commiserations again, Nathan. Thanks for chatting to me.
Well, great to hear the thoughts there then of Nathan Smith. And just whilst we wait for Alex Osterbury to get himself into position there, Jess, we heard pretty much ringing in our ears throughout the match how invested in that game Charlie Beckett were getting on that Loughborough side, Alex as well. Again, we talk about the players delivering, but it's what you want, isn't it? Coaches so invested in the performances for their side, and both of them, along with everyone else, they're doing some great things with this Lightning side. Definitely,
I think the passion that you could hear when we were commentating was like coming through the roof on both sides. And I just think that he probably was frustrated because they were in it at half time, like it was a draw, and I think he was probably a bit frustrated that they couldn't get over the line again, but they pushed us, and I think he should be happy with their team's performance, which I'm sure he will be, and it's not far to get home, so I'm sure they don't have that long to dwell on it, but I think their ability to play well within a competitive top 4 team is really good.
Like you said, it is really good. Well, speaking of a competitive top 4 team, Saracens have put themselves back in that playoff picture today. Lucy is now down pitch side with Alex Osterbury.
I'm joined by Alex Osterbury. Alex, congratulations. That was a really hard-fought win. What's your assessment of that game?
Yeah, it was that. It's 2 teams that were scrapping, fighting. It wasn't it was not a game of rugby that was celebrated by the purists, but for me it was a real good win, a real good test of character, and we found a way, not being at our best, but against a decent team we found a way, and it's something very proud of.
And we spoke before the match about being able to put the last couple of losses behind you and really focus on the task at hand today, and you guys certainly did that. How important was today's win in the context of the season?
Yeah, if the result got the other way, I'd probably say, there's other chances, but we really understood that we had to get momentum back, just like the game. You don't want to give momentum away. We got a lot of momentum at the start of the season and we lost it the last 2 games, but to grab hold in the manner that we did today in a real fight is very pleasing, and it gives us a springboard going into next week. But as you can see, the league's very tough. Teams are beating everyone. There's only Exeter are running away at the top at the moment, but we've got half a season to go before playoffs, and we've got to make sure that week in, week out we give an honest account of ourselves and put performances that pick up points. And sometimes there will be performances that you at the best in terms of rugby playing, but in terms of fight and character, really happy with today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really incredible performance and great for the neutral. And finally, in round 9, you're away to Leicester Tigers. What are you hoping to see from your side, and what are some of the corrections from today, despite getting the win, that you'll want to look at for next week?
Yeah, we got held up over the line 2 or 3 times. That's a bit of a bit criminal at this stage of where rugby's at, with that law being in place for a lot of time. We've got to understand that if we're not going to get there, fall short of the line, or if we're going to absolutely get it, find a way at ground. So we've got to be more clinical going into 22, which has been a common theme these last few games. A lot of entries and not a lot of points, so we need to get more clinical there. I think when we get our collision work right, we're very good and it fuels our defence. When we get it wrong, we start to leak penalties. So there's still a lot of areas to work on. As I said, it was more a performance full of character rather than necessarily top end quality, and that's what we've got to chase going into next week.
Well, best of luck for next week and congratulations today. Harry, back to you in the studio.
Well, great to hear the thoughts there of Alex Osterbury, and we've now got someone else from the winning team. A happy, somewhat relieved Marley Packer. That one looked like a proper battle.
Yeah, it was, to be honest with you. But there's no team in this league now that are not going to put up a fight. And I think Loughborough, they came out the blocks firing. And, oh, sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just done these stairs. They're so hard work here. But no, we knew Loughborough Lightning were going to come out the blocks, and they did exactly that. It was for us to make sure that we counteracted that. We obviously got the 2 early tries, but we let them back in that last 10 minutes of the first half, which, they built the momentum going into half time. And I think if you look at, we went to take a quick penalty just before that half time, and maybe we'll look back at it and maybe it was the wrong decision to do, but at the time it felt like it. We had our tails up. But we've got to get used to, as a squad, that coming in at half-time being 14-14 with good teams, that trust in what we're doing and it will come. And then also that we've also got players that will come off the bench and be electric for us and, give us a launch pad to play off of. And Fancy definitely did that on the wing today. Kelsey Clifford was outstanding all game. And I think, we've got a really talented forward pack that can play in lots of different positions.
Is that what the message was at half time, just to be patient, to be confident? Because I think from comms, for us to go in 14-0 was a bit we definitely had a bit of momentum, and then to get them to score 14 points, I think probably our heads were probably a bit down. So what was the messaging at half time?
It was for us to be more direct in our carrying, being more direct in actually being quicker around that breakdown. When we carry hard, bounce out, quick clear, that's when we're really dangerous as a team. So I think that was that. Defensively, get off the line, make our double shots, hunt high on the inside.
We're giving everyone the tactics, Mar. You don't need to go that much into detail.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. It's just rugby. Most people should be doing that. I'd be worried if they're not. But also in just trust in your own ability. We've got a superb match day 2024, and in a squad that's got so much talent. You lose names. Obviously Rosie Gallagher not involved this week. Poppy Cleel's not involved this week. Are you right there?
I'm not involved this week.
Jess Breach ain't involved. Jess Breach, we've missed all season. But I think you've got names that that are out, but then we still can put out and get a performance when we need it. And look, when the likes of Jess Breach, Rosie, Poppy, everyone's back and on form, look, we're going to be firing on all cylinders. But with that, there's obviously disappointment, because there's going to be players that don't get selected, and that just really shows what a squad effort it's got to be.
You talk about the squad effort. I believe we're going to be able to look at Fancy Bermudez's try quickly here on the screen, and it will be on the screen for you as well. I know you were cheering on from the sideline by this point, Marley, but just talk us through this, that line from McKenna, and then Fancy, this is what she's been brought in to do, really, isn't it? Finishing these tries when she's not really got any right to.
Yeah. Well, I think the ball wanted to go over the top and hit Zoe on this one in a little 2-on-1, but to get the ball how she did in the air, then step out to step back in and then leg drive, she's got no right here. Look how many players, and then bang, great try. And that's what we need. We need our impact players, our subs coming off the bench and giving us that momentum, and giving us that fire in our belly.
Yeah, we thought Lou McMillan did the same job as well.
Yeah,
when she
unreal.
came on, made a massive impact, carrying hard, giving offloads, and it definitely got us on that front foot.
Yeah, I think her first carry, she made 10 metres and 22. I was like, go Lou, you could have started the game, I would have been out. No, but I think that's the thing, in we all want each other to do really well as well. I think sometimes Saracens get talked about we're on each other, and we're not all mates with each other. But
I don't like you, so.
Well, all right, yes, but when we're out there on the pitch, we want everyone to do the best they can, because we've got the best version of Zoe Harrison. She's going to be nailing drop goals left, right, and centre. We've got the best version of May Campbell. You know what she brings for us, and I think, when we put all those players together, when we're firing on all cylinders, we're unstoppable.
Well, like you said, it's about those big players stepping up. I won't keep you too much longer. If we look at some of the stats from that game overall then, when these come up here, it was pretty tight between the two teams. You can see their possession pretty even. You can see territory just about had the lion's share of it in the end. Penalties pretty even. Turnovers pretty even. So it was about executing in those crucial moments.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I would like to see entries to 22 up there, just because I think that's been our letdown as Saracens. When we enter our 22, we're not coming away with points as regularly as what Saracens are known as. And we've got to execute there. So we've got to execute that. So I think, look, when it's these tight decisions and the territory, the possession, penalties and turnovers are all so close to each other, it's those moments in those 22 you've got to come away with points. And that'll be the difference between a team winning and losing this league.
What do you think that makes us not be able to execute in the 22 regularly, on the regular occurrence? Like every time we enter, like what?
It started off well this season, didn't it? It's just come in the last couple of weeks.
I think sometimes it's just some people get white line fever. Go back to your basics. Any team that you're playing against, as soon as you get in their 22, they're on their line. They are going to hammer off that line. They're going to bring line speed. So we want to come a bit tighter, so there's not so much ball in air time. And also, we want to be in a low position when we're catching that ball. If we're upright, we're going to lose the momentum. The game of rugby is won and lost on momentum in both attack and defence, and we need to win the momentum there in patience.
Yeah.
Patience is everything. So when we get there, we need to just not get white line fever. We can pick and go a couple of times, then we can play out the back to our backs. There's so much you can do in that area, but you've got to be patient. And then with that, clinical. If you're not clinical and you bring pressure onto yourself, then you're not going to come away with points.
Like you said, it's about being clinical, but you found a way in the end today, got those crucial 5 points, back up into those playoff places. Some big matches coming up before Christmas though, just the final one, and then we'll let you get back into the warm. Leicester away is tough, and then Gloucester, Hartpury, Bristol Bears doesn't come much tougher as a Christmas run.
And Bristol just beat Gloucester, if you didn't know that.
Oh, did they? What was the score? I was just about to ask, do we know the score
17.
there?
We'll go through the scores in a minute. I think it was 19-14 they edged that one.
Oh wow, so there's no try bonus points, and there's only a losing bonus point there. So we could have done with Gloucester winning, because now that's hotting up that third and fourth at the playoff stages, but I can't wait to watch that game.
So there'll be some great games coming up. Marley, thank you so much for joining us. I'll take that off you so you can run inside and get warm. And as we let these two go, just to remind you, as Marley makes her way back into the warmth of the changing room, that our next live streamed fixture here at Saracens will be that Bristol Bears game on Saturday, the 21st of December. It's a rerun of that semi-final. And Jess, well, you're excited about Christmas feeling already, but someone's going to be playing the Christmas Grinch for one of the other two teams there, aren't they?
Yeah, hopefully it's not us.
Hopefully. Picking up, as we said. And there's going to be lots of twists and turns as the season goes on. Lots of twists and turns in the next few weeks. Let's just bring you, if we can, some of those latest scores from today. We'll have a quick look at the league table as well before we leave you this afternoon.
It's a good song in the background as well.
It's a great song in the background. Now hopefully, here we go, they're coming up now for you. You can see Saracens edging that one 32-21. Bristol Bears, that's a huge win away at Gloucester Hartpury, 19-14. And Harlequins women, well, that match is still on. Once we finish in a couple of minutes, please do head over to the Harlequins YouTube channel to watch the rest of that game. They're 33-12 up, and Jess, they're picking up some momentum at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the current World Player of the Year in action for Quins, and I'm sure she's probably got on the score sheet today. But the win today definitely helps us in the table, coming third. We've obviously not played as many as Quins. You know, they've played 8 compared to a lot of the other teams, so they've obviously got a game in hand. But I think the points are definitely tight, and hopefully we can get a couple more wins under our belt going into Christmas.
It's really hotting up, isn't it, as you can see there on the screen. Leicester and Sale, well, someone's always got to go next weekend. Not next weekend, sorry. Tomorrow, Sunday, I should say. That one is live on TNT, and there you can see our next live streamed game for you. Saracens women against Bristol Bears. There's Zoe Harrison and Amber Reed.
Great graphic, that is.
It's a fantastic graphic there, and that one is going to be suitably spectacular. Hopefully a festive feast for you And now all that's left for me to do is to say, Jess, thank you very much for joining me. Have you enjoyed it? It's the most important thing.
I have enjoyed it, Harry. I hope everyone at home who's been watching has enjoyed it too, and maybe I might be featuring on the Bristol comms as well, so who knows?
Well, if you want to, you've got the job.
Thank you.
There we go. That's done and dusted then. A nice little negotiation up here in the studio. Jess will be back with us for that Christmas game on the 21st of December. Saracens, my oh my, were they tested this afternoon, but champion sides find a way, and the Wolfpack have roared back into life here in the PWR.